I'm live. All right. Um. Okay. Oh, I don't see that little Q&A thing on here. What happened to that? Chat. All right. Anyone here? I know I had that other one a second ago, so I don't know if that. I don't know. This is still very confusing to me. All this newfangled technology. I'm not technologically savvy at all, so I don't know. Hopefully, there was I think 9 people on the other little hangout thing I had before I closed it, and hopefully those people aren't mad because this is just a trial and error thing for me. So I guess if anybody's here and wants to interact, let me know. Otherwise, it's just me talking in front of a computer screen. All right, one viewer. Hi, viewer. I don't know. Do I check the comments on my YouTube video or on this little group chat thing? Because there was no comments on my last little video thing, but when I went to YouTube, there was some comments on the video, the live stream video, but it was on my cell phone, but when I went on the computer on here, it wasn't there. So this is all very confusing to me, and I don't know how many. What does this thing do? Screen share now, capture. That's what I'm doing now, right? Control room, YouTube, Google Effects. There's a Q&A thing on here before. What happened to that? Meh, meh. I'm live. All right. There's this thing. Sublime Live. That's what I'm doing here. Okay. What's up, Sublime? Ryan David Rogers? Not much. I don't know if that was my old one or open click the Q&A. That's what I've done before. Yeah, I did the Q&A thing before, but this one, now that I have it up here, where's that other thing now? Here it is, right here. I don't see the Q&A app on the side now. I see when I had the Hangouts before, like a couple minutes ago, there was a Q&A app. There's not on here now. There's chat, screen share, capture, cameraman, control room, YouTube, and Google Effects. So I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know. This is confusing. There should be like a trial run thing for this. All right. Okay. Let's see if there's. Does this show up in my YouTube manager? Oh, nope. Live events. Is this what's going on now? I would assume live now. 3 watching. Resume Hangout live. How do I edit? Ooh. Huh. Interesting. All right. I am live now, right? I am. This is. You're about to join. All right, cool. 4 viewers. Click OK to return to. Okay. Yeah, I don't see the Q&A thing here on the side anymore, but feel free to ask me anything. I don't see any people asking anything. All right, if I go here, how do I see if anybody's leaving any comments or anything? I don't know. All right, so live now, but how do I? Meh, I don't know. This is kind of weird to me. All right, there's 7 viewers on here. I don't know if I see the group chat thing, but I don't see anybody typing anything. So anybody here? Nope. Let's see if there's anybody asking anything. Oh, somebody left a thing on Sublime Live. Somebody wrote, Trevor McCartney. Hey, bud. Hope you're doing good. Happy holidays, by the way. Do you have a P.O. box? I don't have a P.O. box, but as long as you're not going to send me, snakes or spiders, I'll give you my address if you want. I don't know. But thank you, Trevor McCartney. I hope you're doing well as well. Also, happy holidays. So I guess I'll check the comments from my phone since they're not showing up on the computer. And I don't see anybody in the group chat thing. Forgive me, this is my first time doing this, so hopefully you guys aren't mad that I am not familiar with how to work any of this stuff right here. I'm not technologically savvy at all, and I'll probably delete these videos afterwards because they're embarrassing. I'm sure it's just me, and let's see if anybody's leaving any other comments on this. Alright. Are these both live? It says both live. That can't be right. Oh, I've got 13 comments. Holy moly. There goes my idea of sending snakes and spiders. Thanks. Not showing up. Alright, I'm going to mute this on my phone. It's not showing up on the computer, though, but it's showing up on my cell phone. Rah. Emma, the pony, that made me laugh. Thank you. Aether Author. Hi. Movie Madness 676. Thank you. I appreciate that. I wasn't sure if I was going to upload that video before talking about my father and everything like that, and I decided to go ahead because you guys are really a part of my life, and I guess it was nice to hear that kind of support. It really did mean a lot to me, and I can't say thank you enough for that. It's awesome, and I appreciate all the kind words and support people have left and their stories as well. Emma the Pony live. Jay can't see our comments. No, I can't see their comments. It's not showing up on the actual computer, which is weird, but it's showing up on my cell phone. There's probably a lag, so I'm sorry for that. Hi, JW Universe, Trevor McCartney, thank you. How did you get this live feed? I tried to do for my QA last week. JW Universe, it's a miracle I have this thing going. I'm not doing well here. I don't know how I just pressed the live hangouts, but the comments aren't working for me on the computer, so I'm looking on my cell phone. I'm the only one here. No, I'm here. All right, cool. All right, let's see if let's refresh this to see if there's any new comments on here. Ryan David Rogers, what's up, man? How are you? Very cool person. If you haven't checked out Ryan David Rogers, definitely go do so. We did a trade a while back for It's a Mad World, and that's coming out on Criterion. Can't wait. I'm going to pick up the Criterion. I love that movie. Jonathan Winters scene is my favorite scene. Big Jonathan Winters fan. He recently passed away. May he rest in peace. So, let's see. Emma the Pony, will you ever review video games? Possibly. That's a possibility. I don't know. Am I the only one into those Lego video games? Those things are kind of cool to me. I don't know. I might do some. See, the thing is, though, YouTube's cracking down on all the video gameplay. So I don't know if I'd actually be able to use any footage from the video game. So I don't know how that would. For video games, for movies, you don't have to have the footage. You just have the poster right there. If you hold up a movie, DVD or Blu-ray, you can see it. But for a video game, I feel like that's what everybody's used to, seeing the gameplay. So Noah Ferreira, Pacific Rim versus Dread. What one should I get? I have Dread, the recent Dread movie, but I still haven't seen it. I know everybody's raved about it. And Pacific Rim, I thought it was a fun popcorn action movie, good sci-fi action. The visuals were awesome. Guillermo del Toro, I'm a big fan. Devil's Backbone is my favorite Guillermo del Toro movie. Pacific Rim is decent. It's a fun movie, great movie to pop in and just enjoy. And I love wait till after the credits. There's a quick scene after the credits, which I love. I love Ron Perlman as well, very underrated actor, and Charlie Day, Charlie Hunnam, big Sons of Anarchy fan and Always Sunny fan. But as far as Dread, I haven't seen it yet. Heard great things, and yeah, are they doing a remake to Dread, or not a remake, a sequel? Maybe, I don't know. I haven't even seen it. But favorite comedy of 2013? I don't know. That's a hard one. I've heard a lot of people say they love this year for movies for 2013. For me, it's been like my least favorite of the past few years. Last year was awesome. This year, I'm trying to do my whole top 10 movies of 2013. I've got 6 on my list right now. I still want to see Wolf of Wall Street. I want to see Ginger and Rosa. I want to see 12 Years a Slave. There's a couple other ones I want to see, but there's really not a ton. Like, some people raved about certain movies, and I'm just kind of disappointed with them. But as far as comedies, I haven't seen a ton of comedies that I've liked this year, honestly. None that are popping out. Yeah, the Lego Movie looks awesome, definitely. My favorite horror movie of all time is also my favorite movie of all time. It's John Carpenter's The Thing. It's horror sci-fi, and it's a reimagining, if you will. Most people refer to it as a remake, but it's a reimagining, and I love that movie. My all-time favorite movie, my all-time favorite horror movie. That's John Carpenter's The Thing. It's just incredibly atmospheric. I love movies set in the snow. I love the cast: Kurt Russell, Wilford Brimley, T.K. Carter, Keith David. Just that whole everybody worked there. Bravo Team's practical effects, Dean Cunny's cinematography, and Neil Morcone's score. Just I love that movie. I watch that movie a few times a year. I've probably seen that movie over 100 times, and just never gets old to me. I just get those same feelings. I love that. I can't say enough great things. Razor Wire's review said you should use the Q&A app. Yeah, I was working on the last one. I know I left that one. I'm sorry. This is new to me. This is the first time I've ever done this. There is no Q&A app this time. It was on the last one, but it's not on here this time. So that's weird. I don't like that. All right, let's see. I'll update this again. There's a little bit of a lag because I'm doing it from my cell phone because for whatever reason there's no Q&A app this time, and the questions aren't appearing on the laptop here. So I'm just doing it on my phone right here, looking at the phone because they're coming up on the phone. Phoenix Suns 1 asks, what are some of your favorite documentaries? You know what? One of my favorite movies of 2013 is No Place on Earth. It's about Holocaust victims, and they basically hid underground, and that is an amazing documentary. I think it had limited release, like it was not limited releases, but it was out for festivals in 2012, but it didn't get a theatrical release until 2013, so I'm including that on my 2013 list. That movie just blew me away. There was a lot of the people that were still, well, not a lot, there's a few people that were still alive, and they went back to where they hid as little kids. They hid down there for like almost a full year. I can't remember all the specifics right now. I did a review for it, but I just never posted it. I still got to edit it. I have so many different videos I need to edit and upload. But No Place on Earth, I believe, was the name of it, and that was just awesome. That one blew me away. It was a recent one. Jiro Dreams of Sushi was a food review I watched kind of recently, which I liked a lot as well. There's a lot of great documentaries out there. I'm going to do a top list. Do I watch Doctor Who? Diablo 9333 asks, no, I've never watched Doctor Who. I know people rave about it. I know it's been on for a long time. I know that there's a bunch of different doctors. I should give it a try. I don't even know when it's on. Is it on here? I assume it's on. There's BBC America or something like that, probably. Ryan David Rogers says both Dredd and Pacific Rim are awesome. I'm hoping. I've heard great things about Dredd. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm planning to. I have it. I just haven't. I got it from the last Best Buy upgrade and save, and I watched every other one that I got that time except for that one. So yeah. Movie Man is 676. Do you watch the NBA? If so, what's your favorite team? Big basketball fan. I played basketball in high school. Love basketball. Growing up, my favorite team was the Charlotte Hornets, which, you know, Charlotte went to New Orleans, and then the Charlotte team became the Bobcats, but now they're going back to the Hornets. So now I follow the Knicks, and the Knicks are awful. I moved to New York too, so I ended up following them anyways. But I was a big fan of the Hornets back when they had Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning, Muggsy Bogues, Del Curry, even Rex Chapman, Kendall Gill. That whole crew, loved them. And then of course they all broke up, and Larry Johnson actually came to the Knicks, so that was cool. I remember that fight between the Heat and the Knicks, and Jeff Van Gundy grabbing on Alonzo Mourning's leg. That cracked me up. Razor Wire Reviews asks, best movie of the year should be Blue is the Warmest Color. You are the man, Razor Wire Reviews. That is probably my favorite movie so far this year. Blue is the Warmest Color, just so central. It's a French film, and oh my gosh, love that movie. That lead actress deserves every award out there. Both of the female leads in Blue is the Warmest Color deserve so many nominations for everything possible. Love Blue as the Warmest Color. It might turn off some people because there is a lot of sexuality, there's a lot of nudity. I think it's going to get a bad reputation as far as being a lot of known for girl-on-girl scenes, and people are going to want to see it just for that. But it's deeper than that. It's got a lot of emotional honesty. I was moved in some of the scenes, especially the scene towards the end. There were so many great emotions in that, and it was just a great coming-of-age story. Kind of just discovering yourself, life, sexuality, relationships, love, all of that. Prisoners. I honestly, I was disappointed in Prisoners. I thought it was a decent movie worth checking out. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. I thought it was incredibly predictable and formulaic, and I thought the police officers, especially Jake Gyllenhaal's character, incredibly inept. But the acting performances were so strong. Great acting from, especially really powerful performance from Hugh Jackman. Awesome. That made the movie for me. But I also like Jake Gyllenhaal. There's little things like the facial tick that he had. I thought that was a really cool added thing that made some gave some character depth to it and made it feel more authentic. But I just felt it was just too predictable. As soon as you saw that one picture, I'm like, come on, you could just put that together like that, and he didn't put together. There's so many things. It's basically dumb luck is how everything happened out. Mud, I agree with Mud as well. That was my favorite movie for a while until I watched a few other ones. Before Midnight, I definitely want to see that one because Before Sunrise, I love that one. The sequel I didn't care as much for. Ain't Them Bodies I haven't seen. I haven't even heard of that one actually. Ain't Them Bodies Saints. I haven't seen that one or even heard of that one. Okay, you gave me a few ones to check out here. I appreciate that. Noah Ferrera asked, have you seen any of the Wrong Turn movies, and what do you think of them? I've seen them all. I love the first Wrong Turn movie. The second one, I liked that one. Even the third one, I actually liked. I know people hate the third one, but I liked it. The effects got progressively worse with each movie. I reviewed Wrong Turn 6, actually. A lot of reviews on that one, so that was pretty cool. They're going to make another one. Or wait, maybe it was Wrong Turn 5. I'm sorry, I reviewed Wrong Turn 5. They're making a Wrong Turn 6. Wrong Turn 4, I love movies in the snow, especially horror movies. But I just didn't really care for that one. I wish it would have been better. But yeah, I love the first Wrong Turn movie. Probably one of my favorite slashers out there. Ryan David Rogers asks, ever seen a film that you hear is good but didn't end up liking? All the time. I mean, tons of ones. So many different movies. I know a lot. All right, here's one. I know I'm probably going to get some backlash for it, but it's just personal opinions. And Fruitville Station. Heard tons of great reviews for it. People are saying Oscar nominations. It deserves to win Best Picture. I saw it. It's based on a true story. I don't think it works as a cinematic feature. You know, it's crazy what happened to the police officer that he spent 11 months, and I just thought that was just shocking. But for me, it just didn't work as a cinematic feature. As a documentary or something like a 2020 feature or something like that, sure. But it just didn't have that emotional impact for me personally. So I was kind of disappointed in Fruitville Station. There was a few things in there that I did like. Some of the performances were pretty good, but overall, I didn't think it was. I thought it was overhyped, honestly. Movie Madness 676. Only as horror fans can really appreciate Halloween. Definitely. Diablo 9333. The Thing is, I would recommend starting from 2005 reboot because there's a lot of missing episodes from the original. Oh, Doctor Who. Okay. Lefty NDV10 asks, I know I'm super late to this party, but just watched Django last night. Loved it. I love Django Unchained. And there's actually, I feel this way about a few different movies. Some of the most violent scenes have some of the most kind of like poetic images. There's a scene where the blood splatters against like the flowers. I just thought that was such a poetic scene. Great score as well. The performances were great. Samuel L. Jackson, I loved his performance in there as well. And yeah, let's see who else we got over here. Epic Blu-ray hunts. I used to go for the Hornets. All right, some more Hornets fans out there. Cool. You guys have the Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning jerseys, and Muggsy Bogues. He gave short dudes some love, and it was funny to see Muggsy Bogues like running around like at like knee level for everybody else. Bixier, I'm from Europe. What's your favorite European movie? I lived in Germany for 4.5 years. For those of you who do not know. Unfortunately, I didn't retain the language because I moved back to the States and nobody spoke it. And I'm walking around. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Nein. Favorite European movie? I mean, there's tons of great European movies. I mean, Blue is the Warmest Color is probably my favorite movie of 2013. I don't know. That's a hard one. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. There's so many great European movies. Man of Steel thoughts. Meh. It was all right. I was expecting a little bit more. There were some good parts to it. The visuals were amazing. There's a few, I'm kind of torn about it. There's things I liked about it, things I didn't like about it. Emma the Pony. What movie do you most regret watching? There's a lot. I've seen so many horrible, low-budget horror movies. Two of my least favorite movies I've ever seen in my entire life. The worst movies I've ever seen. Knock Knock 2, and what was the other one? Skeleton Key 3, and it has nothing to do with the first Skeleton Key movie, but those were the two worst. Like, I've seen a ton of low-budget horror movies, and I try to give independent filmmakers and low-budget filmmakers, a chance, because everybody starts that way. Peter Jackson started out with, low-budget horror. So, I mean, you can get places. I mean, Evil Dead blew up. But some of these low-budget horror movies should just be maybe broadcast on YouTube and not get DVD releases and things like that, because some of them were just dreadful to sit through. Those are two that came to mind. Probably the worst movies I've ever seen, Knock Knock 2 and Skeleton Key 3. Those movies were just dreadful. I wish I would have turned them off as soon as they started. All right, let's see what else we got here. I hope I didn't miss anybody's comments here. Most anticipated film of 2014. I'm gonna have to get back to you, Ryan David Rogers. I don't know. I'm kind of confused. Not confused. I'm kind of disappointed, rather, on some of the the hyped up movies, because then I watch them. I'm just like, a lot of these movies that are really hyped up, I'm just not that big into. I think he can't see my comments. I can see your comments, Aether Author. I can. My favorite film is Clockwork Orange, says Random Studios FM. It's a great movie. Classic. Razor Wire Reviews. Yeah, I think the explicit sex will end up working against Blue's favor. That's what I was saying before. Shame, amazing movie. I completely agree with Fruitvale. Cool. I thought I'd be in the very slim minority there, because I share rave reviews for that. Thanks for answering, man. I'm out. Hope you had a good Xmas, mate. You too. Thanks for coming here. Is The Heat any good? I haven't seen The Heat. It didn't appeal to me, but the movie Heat with Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, that's a movie you should check out. Great heist movie. But The Heat with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy, I have no desire to watch, honestly. Maybe if it's on or somebody wants to watch it, then sure, maybe I'll give it a chance, but yeah, I'm not going to pick that movie up personally. Gnarly Punk Rocker 5, what's up, man? About to watch some Dexter, but figure I'd swing by and say hello. Hello. I have never seen Dexter. I know people rave about that. Every girl I know loves that. So I was always thinking maybe I'd watch it, have a girl over and watch some Dexter, but never watched it. Maybe one day I'll give it a shot. Have you seen The Victim, starring the beautiful Danielle Harris? Yes. That's the one with, what's his name? The actor who's in The Divide, who's in Aliens. He was in so many movies, and I can't remember his name right now. I'm having a brain fart right now. But yes, I did see it, and Danielle Harris is absolutely beautiful. I have a big crush on her since way back in the day. And she's in my favorite action movie of all time, The Last Boy Scout, with Damon Wayans and Bruce Willis. And she's younger during that, and she plays her role just perfectly. And she needed to have been in more scenes in The Victim. That's what I think. My job, I've said this like a million. I actually have my Q&A videos that I still plan to post. I broke them up in several different videos. Sales. I'm in sales. I've said that that's like the question I get the most. What's your job? Sales. I've been in some form of like sales or retail sales since I was like 16. Yeah, I hate it. It's the bane of my existence. I've managed Sam Goody. I worked at Best Buy in the media department. I don't know. I've done all kinds of. I worked at Starbucks for a while. I guess that can be kind of. It's not really retail sales, but there's some sales aspects to it. That's more food services. But yeah. Let's see, where am I at here? Let's see. All right, I'm going to refresh this again. Yeah, again, like I said, for whatever reason, the comments aren't showing up on the computer area. There's a group chat thing over here. It's nothing there. And when I pull up YouTube, it's nothing there. But on my phone right here, they're showing up on my phone, the comments. So that's cool. Your thoughts on Aether Author. Glad you stayed with me, buddy. Your thoughts on Lights, Camera, Jackson. I'm not familiar, honestly. I don't know. Is that a movie? Forgive me. I'm not. Maybe is that a reference? I'm not going to Google it. I'm sorry. Let me know what that is. What did I just do? I pressed the. All right, here we go. Dexter's great, but the final season sucks, and the overall conclusion sucks. It's worth a watch, though. All right. I like Action Jackson. Chris Brock, what did you think of Texas Chainsaw 3D? I've not seen it yet. I don't think it was quite as garbage as what everybody else was saying. People just ripped it, gave it like 1s and 2s out of 10. I'm like, I don't think it's that bad, but there are a lot of issues with it. First of all, there's the time difference, the years, that doesn't add up, especially for the age of the girl. And plus, I didn't really like the look of, I think the actor's name might have been Thomas Yeager or something like that, but I didn't like the look for him as Leatherface. He had like some facial hair, some like little goatee, like he was manscaping. I don't want to see a metrosexual Leatherface. It just doesn't work for his character. If I was going to rate Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, I'd probably give it a 5 out of 10. You know, I've seen so many low budget horror movies that it has some decent moments. There's some good thrills. There's a lot wrong with that movie. I couldn't, if you're a horror fan, you're a big Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan, I think you'd want to see it just because you're a fan of the franchise. But for mainstream horror fans or mainstream fans of cinema, I wouldn't recommend it, honestly. Okay, I hope I didn't miss anybody's comments on here. Delamorte, wow, Delamore Zero. Andre? Holy moly, man. Man, I wish you still made videos. Andre was one of my boys on here, man. He was one of my favorite people to watch. I don't even know how long. It's been probably like 2-3 years since he's made videos, but awesome. One of my favorite people. It's awesome to see him on here. Yo, Jay, long time no see. It's 1 a.m. over here. That's right. You moved, man. Congratulations on that. That's awesome. I'm not gonna, say everything there, but I'm so happy for you guys. That's really awesome to me. I gotta go sleep, but I just wanted to ask you one important question. I don't see it. I don't know. All right, hold on. I'm gonna get back to that one in a second, Andre. Movie Madness 676. Your opinion on Rob Zombie making movies? You know what? I love House of a Thousand Corpses. Absolutely love it. I'm not a big fan of his take on Halloween, though. I really wasn't. I know people love it. Not for me. Halloween 2, I liked a lot of it, but towards the ending, for the Blu-ray release, I think we only have the director's cut, which I don't like the director's cut as much as the theatrical cut. I think Canada has the theatrical cut on Blu-ray. I want to get that. I think it's like a double feature thing. But the theatrical version, I think, is much better. Rob Zombie making movies, he's on Lords of Salem. I would love the heck out of Lords of Salem until the ending. The ending just killed it for me. But still, it was feeling like throwback 70s witch kind of feel to it, just like a masterpiece, really, of horror cinema. But the ending I hated the ending. But Lords of Salem, I still think it's worth checking out. So I kind of like him, but I do like his music a lot. I like his music probably maybe a little bit more than his movies. But House of a Thousand Corpses is like an all-time favorite for me. So, The Hunt for Gollum asks, "Are you excited for about 300: Rise of an Empire?" Yes, actually. I mean, 300 is such a visually stunning movie. So I am looking forward to it. I'm expecting, great visuals, great action, things like that. So, Andrew Bellina, hope you're doing well also. Thank you. JW Universe asks, "What do you think about the disasters on Spectre Gadget and Godzilla 98? Just that, disasters. Random Studios FM, if you could change please Superman 3 or 4, which would you choose?" You know what? I know people hate those movies, but I don't know. I like both of them. They're cheesy fun. Do you like the Spanish Wreck movies? Ghetto Stilly? I don't know, I'm probably saying that wrong. But yes, I love the Spanish Wreck movies. Way more than the American. First of all, The Quarantine I thought was a decent remake. People crap on it, but it was basically a shot-for-shot remake with English actors. And I think some of the actors did a better job, but the ending was way better in Wreck, and of course it was the original idea. But Wreck 2, amazing. Better than the first Wreck movie, in my opinion. Wreck 2, if you haven't seen Wreck 2, definitely see that. I was watching, I was thinking, it started, to go a different direction. I'm like, how's this going to work? And it worked perfectly. Wreck 3 I liked as well. But Quarantine 2 was not a remake of Wreck 2. It was a completely different movie, which I didn't care for Quarantine 2. I know a lot of people did, but I didn't. All right, let me refresh this. Oh, what's Ryan Dog? The Thing. I got the poster on my wall. I still have my. I don't know if you guys have seen a video a long time ago. My Japanese poster. It was a reproduction poster of John Carpenter's The Thing. I still have it over there. I haven't hung it up. But I love that poster. I wanted to get the original one of that, but it was crazy expensive. Delamorte, what is best in life? That's a Conan quote, and a lot of you guys may not know the Conan quote. What is best in life? Man, my memory is so bad, but I believe the line is to see your enemies destroyed or driven forward, and to hear the lamentations of their women. I believe that's the line. It's been a long time. I used to know that. I used to know there's certain things that I used to know word for word. Now I'm just like, to see your enemy driven before you and hear the lamentations of their women. I believe that's the correct quote line. But that's actually a funny thing. I love that movie to begin with. But when I pledged my fraternity at Rutgers, one of the things they would ask you is that line, and you had to say it within seconds. We had to do all kinds of crazy things, but nobody got beat or anything like that or branded. Pelure. What's the difference between the theatrical cut and uncut one? Um, it's the theatrical cut is, in my opinion, better. There's not. I'm trying to remember what exactly the differences are now. I can't remember exactly the scenes that are different, but I just remember liking it way better than the director's one. Um, Maybe I'll do a yeah. I should do a video on that actually. I think that's something I wanted to talk about for a while. The differences between the theatrical and director's cut of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Actually, that's a thank you for that. Bringing that up. Psycho 18C asks, "What's my favorite European horror film?" There's so many great. Honestly, I think European horror is killing American horror. We're way behind. We basically just if somebody else internationally does something decently, we're just like, give me that idea, give me that idea, and then like a year or two later, we're remaking it, which I hate because I feel like we're getting the watered down version. Just suck it up, people of English speaking countries, and just learn to read. That's what it comes down to. These subtitles, you can retain them very easily if you watch them more. If you watch them more frequently, they come really easily. But my favorite European one, there's French New Wave horror has been killing it. Inside has become one of my favorite movies. It's so bloody, which it could be a slasher or a splatter film, really, but Inside is so up there. There's so many phenomena. That's my favorite Argento film. How many Blu-rays do I own? It says JW Universe. A lot, probably. I've been trying to downsize, but it's so hard. I've got just the closets full, bookcases in here. If I had a guess, I don't know. To make a guess, I don't know, probably around like 1,300, maybe. I'm probably like, I don't know. That's just I have no idea. Ryan David or Chris Brock, what are your thoughts on Halloween 3 Season of the Witch? I love it. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch gets a horrible rap, I think, because it doesn't have Michael Myers. But you should think of it as a standalone movie. Initially, what they wanted to do with the Halloween series was if Halloween 3 did well, they would make each one after that like kind of like an anthology series with different characters, which I think was a cool idea, honestly. Season of the Witch is a great Halloween-themed movie, and Tom Atkins, fantastic. Adrian, I love it. I mean, that's such a great Halloween movie. I don't understand the hate. The hate is just solely because it has the Halloween name and it doesn't have Michael Myers. You just got to think of it as a standalone movie. That's it. That's my opinion, anyways. I know people hate on it, but I love it. Ryan David Rogers, what do you think the best and worst directors working today? I don't want to crap on Michael Bay because he has his own audience. A lot of them, there's popcorn action movies. That's what it comes down to. So I can't hate on him for that. People just give him a bad rap, but there's an audience for that. He's not my favorite director by any means. Everybody loves Spielberg, but Spielberg, I think, is kind of manipulative and a little schmaltzy. It's a little like Warhorse, and I know people love Warhorse. For me, I wasn't a fan. I thought it was just a little too sappy, a little too over the top, ridiculous, and schmaltzy, and just manipulative. It just was too much for me. I'm trying to think of younger directors coming out. Paul Thomas Anderson. I would say Noah Baumbach. I would say, there's a lot of good horror directors coming up now too, as well. Trying to think of other like newer, younger directors. Let me get back to you on that one. Who's a teenage movie critic? I'm not a teenager. I don't know if you're talking about me. I just saw Bruce Willis was in the movie. All right, I don't know what that's for. Okay, hold on. I'm way behind on the questions here. Sorry. Is G.I. Joe Retaliation worth buying? I haven't seen it yet. I do own it, but I haven't had a chance to pop it in yet. Pop it in. Favorite Japanese horror? There's some great Japanese horror too. That's a hard one. One thing. Oh man, there's a movie called The Uninvited Guest. It's a Spanish horror film. That is one I never hear anybody talk about. That was just a side rant. Thinking of different other international horror movies that I just thought that was such a creepy atmospheric movie. Japanese horror. Man, that's a tough one. I'm gonna have to get back to you. And there's some really good. I feel like honestly, American horror. I feel like independent American horror is doing really well, but mainstream American horror not so much at all. International horror is just killing it, in my opinion. All right, let me see what else we got here. All right, there's a what's going on here, Louis Ferrara? Why? No insulting. Be nice. I don't know how to. I don't even know how to. I don't want any curse words or flame wars between people. Yes, Michael Bay equals explosions. Agree. 56 Blu-rays. Well, I mean, I can't say that's a small collection. Uh, I'd like to pare down my collection, but it's hard to do. So, I mean, it's if you enjoy those movies, it doesn't really matter. Think of it as quality over quantity. Uh, I'm pleased to be part of the world that has good horror films, Jay. I agree. Drank any good eggnog lately? I haven't. I had actually take it back. I had pumpkin eggnog the other day, and that was awesome because I love the pumpkin eggnog. Hood pumpkin eggnog. Shout out to Hood. Every time I think of Hood, I think of like Hood. What? West Side? uh, Evil MILF guy asks, have you seen Ricky O, the story of Ricky? If so, what are your thoughts? Yes, I have. I love that movie. It's a crazy, outrageous, over-the-top, bloody, ridiculous movie. The guy, Ricky, goes to prison, and he has to fight, and he's punching through stomachs and smashing heads. It's a cheesy, fun film. It's ridiculous. It's over the top. I think if you're a fan of kind of like cult movies, horror and action kind of stuff like that, I think you'll enjoy it. It's ridiculous. If you like movies like Dead Alive and like some kung fu action, if you will, you might appreciate it. It was based off a manga, I believe. PLO, this is awfully depressed. I don't know if you're talking about what I made the video of before. Well, this is trying to, kind of get my mind off of things, if you will. Thoughts on Ben Affleck being Batman? Personally depressed. Oh, maybe that's in response to that. Okay. I did a whole video on the whole Ben Affleck thing. I think he's become a great director, actually. So Ben Affleck, pretty good director coming up now. Actually, I think he's a great director. The Town, Gone Baby Gone, and Argo, all amazing. And I think people think of Ben Affleck, there are people with the whole rage and upset of him being Batman. I think is kind of ridiculous. They were thinking of him from like back in the days when he did Geely and different movies like that. But that was like 10 years ago. He's done movies now where he's shown his acting chops, and I think he'll be a decent Batman. I can actually see him way more as Bruce Wayne than Batman. But Batman is more about the presence, the voice, because you're in the suit, and the suit can provide the look of big muscles and stuff like that. So, Orc, I got a webcam, buddy. Is tonight still Sausage Factory? Shout out to Sausage Factory. Sausage Factory is a group of guys on here who I believe it's every Thursday night they do a live streaming thing, and they talk horror mostly, and some good people on there. Movie Madness 676. I don't think lulz. I don't think you're gonna hear someone say this again, but Halloween Remake is my favorite movie of all time. Hey man, never be shameful of what your favorite movie is. It's different for every person. If that's your favorite movie, by all means, go for it. I'll be honest, I wasn't a big fan of the Rob Zombie Halloween movie. I like even Halloween 2, H2, I like better. I know people bash on that, but that's just my personal opinion. But if you dig it, by all means, man, props to you. Never let anybody else influence, your personal opinion. All right, let me see where I'm at now. I don't know. I hope I'm not missing any questions here. What do you think of John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness? Very underrated, and I'm happy it had a Scream Factory. Yes, you just said that actually on here. I just got the Scream Factory Collector's Edition. It's amazing. I love it, and I need to pick it up. I haven't picked it up yet. Ryan David Rogers, ever see the anime Attack on Titan? I don't think so. No, I have not. Evil MILF Guy, me personally, Ricky O is my favorite movie of all time. Awesome Sauce. I actually got the Blu-ray and the DVD too. It took me forever to get that Blu-ray because they had pulled it off of Amazon at one point. So I think I ended up getting off eBay, I think. But yeah, I love Ricky O. Karate Jack, 1996, asks, do you like the band Soundgarden? I loved it back in the 90s when it was huge, kind of like that grunge rock. I remember that video, too, with the melting Barbies and everything like that. But they had actually a couple other hits, too, that I liked. So, yeah, I'm a fan. I don't know. I haven't really paid attention if they're still around. I think they broke up. The lead singer did kind of his solo thing, and he was actually really good. All right, let me see. Pelu RR, did you see The Conjuring? I did see The Conjuring. I actually really liked it. I don't think there's a lot of new ideas. James Wan's, I like a lot of his visual style that he brings to these movies, and it has a good visceral feel. I really liked, oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart right now, and I'm embarrassed. Uh, the one with the dummy, the ventriloquist, uh, Mary Shaw. Why am I not? I have an awesome addition for it over there. Dead Silence. There you go. I love Dead Silence, and Death Sentence was pretty good too. Um, the Conjuring, it wasn't a lot of new ideas, kind of a possession movie, but it was very creepy, very atmospheric, and I actually really enjoyed the movie. Um, one of my, it's not, it's definitely one of my favorite horror movies of the year. I thought it was a classic. Here's the thing. I think all movie genres right now, movies in general, it's an oversaturated market. There's so many movies just pushed out and pushed out and pushed out that movies go from the theater to home video, DVD, Blu-ray within like 2 to 3 months now. So it's hard to. I think if it was 5, 7 years ago, The Conjuring would be considered a horror classic. So unfortunately, I don't think a lot of movies are going to get that same kind of love now. Favorite John Hughes, John Candy collaboration, Uncle Buck. Although he was John Candy was in Home Alone, and the first Home Alone movie, I thought that was really a classic. Audition is a pretty good one. Yes, Audition is fantastic. There was actually a movie I saw called Callback that reminded me a lot of Audition. Nowhere near as good, obviously, but it just popped in my head. Oh, I'm sorry. Aether author. They said, I mean, Lights, Camera, Jackson is a teenage movie critic. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with Lights, Camera, Jackson, but that's a cool name, though. I like that username. I'm all for checking out, movie critics. There's a Clay Singer, is a young movie guy on here, does movie reviews. I think he's awesome. I think he's more knowledgeable than a lot of older people or people my age. You know what I mean? I think being on YouTube is a great source of material. You can find new movies. I know I found a lot of cool new movies, and I think it's pretty cool. If I was younger and I was on YouTube, I probably would have been exposed to way more movies at that time. Clay Singer's real young, but he's a younger movie reviewer who I think is awesome. I haven't checked out Lights, Camera, Jackson. I'll have to check them out. All right, let me refresh this again. Thank you for the people that are sticking with me. Did you have a good Christmas? I honestly didn't really have Christmas at all. Like I told you guys before in my last video, my father passed away, and he was the one that set everything up. The only family I have in New Jersey is now my mother, who has mental health issues. My roommate was out of town. A lot of my friends were spending it with family, and some people were out of town. So I also got my finger slammed in a door, slammed in a car door. It's all right. It doesn't look too bad. It's on my middle finger, so I'm not flicking you off, guys. But you can't. It doesn't really look too bad. It's a little small and little, but it was bleeding initially. But yeah, my Christmas, there was no Christmas for me, unfortunately, but it happens. What can you do? Do you want to be a director, actor? When I was younger, I wanted to be an actor. My best friend and I, growing up, we used to write lines, we used to write scripts, and we basically wanted to have kind of like a Friends version, kind of, but with different take, kind of like kind of a buddy comedy kind of take. And we just, we grew apart, and well, no, we didn't really grow apart, but our lives different. I moved. He got married, had 3 kids. He's done movies and stuff. He's part of the Screen Actor Guild. He's done mostly kind of like extra stuff though. But that's something I think would still be cool. I'd love to be an actor, but honestly, I would like to really get my act together and do movie critiques. Like there's professional movie critics out there. I would like to do something like that. There's a lot of movies that I still need to check out, but it's something I'm very passionate about. I've always been passionate about movies. Ryan Dog, Aliens is my favorite of all time. I love Aliens. Aliens, probably top 15 for me. Top 15. For me, here's my Alien franchise. I'm not including Prometheus, but for me, Alien. I know a lot of people hate Resurrection, but for me, that would be next in Aliens 3. What do you think of John Carpenter's Prince? All right, got that one. Oh, wait, did I miss? Yeah, I think I missed one. Hold on one second. No, I answered G.I. Joe Retaliation. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if other people want to comment on that. Epic Blu-ray hunts. I own it, but I have yet to pop it in yet. I haven't seen it yet. Nicholas Line, yes. Nicholas Winding Refn, big fan. I loved Only God Forgives. Loved. I posted a thing on Facebook about it, how my thoughts are as soon as I watched the movie. For me, I think I just coined this term myself. I consider Only God Forgives neo-noir samurai film. It's a neo-noir samurai film. It's just so stylistic. I just loved it. I think a lot of people would complain about are things that I can see what they're, they don't like the long kind of lingering stairs and things like that. The POV shots walking down a hallway. Just not a lot going on to some people, but it was so atmospheric. It was so moody. It was just everything worked for me. I loved it. It was everything. It wasn't a gratifying experience, if you will. I was emasculating. It was just dark. It was crazy, and I loved it. I loved Only God Forgives. I love Nicholas Winding Refn, very good director. I also Wes Anderson. I like Wes Anderson. The guy that did Antichrist, he did some other really good movies as well. I can't, I'm forgetting his name right now. Forgive me. Thank you, Psycho 18C, and Evil MILF Guy, and Scorsese De Niro collaboration. That's a good one too. There's a lot of great collaborations with them. I'm going to say my favorite De Niro film isn't a Scorsese film. My favorite De Niro film, it's kind of not really, it's not a De Niro film, if you will, but he's in it. And it's Bronx Tale. I never hear anybody talk really too much about Bronx Tale, but it's one of my all-time favorite movies. It's basically about growing up in the Bronx, and I want to say, is it the 50s or 60s? I can't remember exactly now, but it's basically just dealing with that time, and it's a gangster film, essentially. Sonny, the gangster, and there's just so many quotable lines and memorable scenes in that. And my favorite scenes in the movie are the ones where it's such violent scenes, but the music is so poetic. Like there's a scene where it has Nights in White Satin playing from the Moody Blues, and there's a racially tension-driven fight, and it's just such a violent scene, and the music is so beautiful. And then the scene inside the bar where these bikers are destroying bars, and they're asking him to leave politely, and he starts smashing stuff, the one biker, and then Sonny goes to the door. He's like, "Now yous can't leave." And the music there, I think it was like The Book of Love comes on, and then there's another Rolling Stones song that comes on after that. Love that movie. I'm just rambling. My favorite horror movie of 2013. I don't know if I should say The Conjuring, but one I loved is a low-budget horror movie, and Maniac technically came out in 2012. Maniac, if it came out in 2013, I would say Maniac for sure. The Maniac remake was amazing. But there's a low-budget horror movie that I love. It's not perfect, but it's All Hallows Eve. There's another one I think called Hallows Eve, but I didn't care for that. All Hallows Eve I thought was awesome. I actually got a chance to talk to the director, interview the director, but I felt bad. I'm not too great at the interviewing thing. I was trying to ask. I was kind of talking over him a couple times. I felt so bad. I think there was a kind of a lag in the connection because it was a phone interview. But All Hallows Eve, that director, I can't wait to see more from him because there are some just awesome aspects to that movie. There's the one segment, though, I hated the one segment, but the rest of it I loved. But I'm going to do, coming up next month, I'm going to do my favorite horror movies of 2013 and my favorite overall movies of 2013. Right now, my favorite, I don't know if I should say The Conjuring. Maybe it's tough. But my favorite movie from 2013 right now is Blue is the Warmest Color. Only God Forgives is going to be on the list. I'm going to, if you guys watching, for you 32 people right now watching, I think I have 6 movies right now on my top 10 of 2013. Like I said, there's a bunch of ones I still want to see, but Blue is the Warmest Color, Only God Forgives, Gravity. I'm trying to do it off the top of my head. Hold on, let me pull this up. I think I have it on my phone. My list right here of, do I have it on my phone? Watch, I don't have it on my phone. I'm just lying to you guys right now. No, I do. All right. Blue is the Warmest Color, Last Place on Earth, which again was a documentary about Jewish people hiding in underground and during the Holocaust, that blew me away. Mud, Out of the Furnace. I never hear anybody talk about Out of the Furnace. I love that movie. It wasn't as dark and disturbing as I was expecting, but I liked the dreary, washed-out look. Man, New Jersey's getting bad rap from every direction. But I joke about that all the time. If you go down South Jersey, I swear you hear that Deliverance banjo playing. Like, buckle your seatbelts in, strap your belt up tighter. But yeah, I loved Out of the Furnace. I'd probably put The Conjuring, as of right now, on my list for top 10 movies of 2013 for me personally, just because I do love horror. I thought it was really good. While I don't think it had a lot of new, fresh ideas, I think it was very well done for what it is. But yeah, there's a lot more movies I want to see as well. Wolf of Wall Street, I want to see that hope I don't know if I'll be able to see it this weekend or not. I think I'm going to be going down to tomorrow is my dad's viewing here in New Jersey, but my mother's going to have him buried in Virginia. So I think we're going to probably go down because the funeral is on Monday, and I think we're probably going to go after the viewing down to Virginia. So yeah, I don't know if I'll have time to really watch anything before the new year. Did you see The Family? Is that the one with De Niro? I completely forgot about the De Niro Scorsese combination. That's a hard one. Should I say Raging Bull? Maybe I thought Raging Bull was a fantastic performance from De Niro. I thought that was just amazing. One of the best biopics out there, in my opinion. The Family, I think, is that the one where he's part of the mob and he moved. I didn't see that one yet. If so, Orbital Tree. Say that 3 times fast. Actually, it's not that hard. Hi. What do you think of Dark Angel? I haven't seen it. I want to see it. I think, is that the one that has... I know what the cover looks like. I can't remember who's in it, though. Forker Ball. I always miss live streams, but finally I've caught one. How are you? I'm doing well. Yourself, buddy? Would Only God Forgives have any kind of the same mood and atmosphere as Drive? Yes, but different. I think Drive is a more gratifying film where Only God Forgives is not, but I love that aspect of it. There's a lot of similar mood and tone, especially with the character of Ryan Gosling, but there's similarities, but they're not the same at all. I love Drive. I think Drive is probably one of the great cult Hollywood films of recent years, one of the better films that Hollywood put out, because it was a mainstream movie. But I loved Only God Forgives. It's funny, before going into Only God Forgives, I've heard only negative reviews going in, and I'm so glad I gave it a fair chance. I loved it. I know people are so used to seeing the old horror movie that they raise their expectation. It's hard to make original stuff. I agree, it is hard, but that's one thing. The Conjuring, like I said, it's not new, fresh ideas, but there are some things that I really appreciate. Great mood, atmosphere, visually had some really creepy things going on, especially the doll, the Annabelle doll, and great acting too. Bronx Tale is a great film, John C. Yes, it is. Where De Niro isn't a gangster, and yeah, very true. And Awakening with De Niro, Robin Williams, definitely. That's 90s, I'm going to say Awakening was. Early 90s. Dude, Bronx Tale, A Band Apart. Criminally underrated film. Yes, I'm waiting for the Blu-ray release for the States. I know there's one in the UK, but we don't have one here yet. I don't know what's going on over here. There's brain surgeon overnight. I think that's to somebody else. Most anticipated film of 2014. I don't know. Honestly, tell you what. You guys give me the ones that you are most anticipating for 2014, and I'll choose what one, for me, I'm most looking forward to. I think 2004. I'm more looking forward to films from 2015 already. But yeah, there's there's so many different ones where people rave, and for this year, 2013, like I said, I've seen a bunch of movies, but there's not a ton that really blew me away. Last year was amazing for me personally. I love the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I don't know why people hate on it. I'm not a fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Again, if you like the movies, by all means, don't listen to what other people say. If you like it, that's all that matters. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but I wasn't a fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I wasn't a fan of the Friday the 13th remake. I wasn't a fan of Rob Zombie's Halloween remake. I wasn't a fan of the Fright Night remake. Fright Night 2, which was, I think, the New Blood or something, the recent one. I love the original Fright Night 2. I hope that gets a Blu-ray release. But the other Fright Night 2 that just came out wasn't quite as bad as I was expecting, but it wasn't great either. What is a horror movie that you most want to see in 2014? I don't know. I don't know if there's anything on my radar that I'm thinking of right now. I know there's a lot of remakes coming for 2014 as far as horror comes. Thank you for the people saying sorry for my loss. I appreciate that. All right, let me see. Watching from Norway. Cool. Thank you. The Oculus Rift glasses. I don't know what that is. Oculus Rift glasses. Is that something from Pacific Rim? I know there's going to the Rift. Is that something? Maybe I'm missing that. TASM 2, Cap 2, Interstellar. I don't know what some of this stuff is. Godzilla. I will say the trailer. I'll be honest. when I first heard the Godzilla remake, I really wasn't that into it. I was thinking like Godzilla '98, Matthew Broderick, that whole disaster, and then I saw the recent trailer. I'm excited for Godzilla. I'm excited. That was visually stunning. That looks amazing. I mean, I am looking forward to that. That's one right there. I've never really got into Dragon Ball Z, honestly. I haven't really. Apparently, it's been cropped and DNR'd. That's a shame if that's the case. I mean, obviously, if you're a fan, you don't want to see that happen. But I really haven't. I should give Dragon Ball Z a fair chance. I only cut bits and pieces here and there, but I know it's very, popular. Patrick Bateman, awesome movie. I bring back some videotapes. Since we're on the topic of Gosling, what did you think of Place Beyond the Pines? Place Beyond the Pines should have been a movie split in 3 parts. It should have been like 3 different movies because it felt like 3 different movies kind of pushed together. I did like a lot of the themes with father and son aspect and family and stuff like that. But for me, each one got progressively worse. I loved the first segment with Ryan Gosling. Loved that. That could have been a standalone movie for me, and I would have loved it. The second segment, I liked it. And the third segment, I didn't care for. For me, it was the splits right there. Overall, I would still say it's worth checking out, especially for that first segment. That first segment was amazing for me. Evil MILF Guy says, personally, Only God Forgives is my least favorite of the year. That's fair. I know a lot of people, it's definitely not for mainstream audiences, not saying you're just into mainstream movies, but it's definitely, they're not going to be mainstream success there. For me, though, I loved it. I mean, I loved it just as much as Drive. I know that's blasphemy to people, but Bad S. Dragula says, maybe I should buy Only God Forgives, but like you said, I hear bad and pass. Well, I think you should at least give it a fair chance. Give it a watch. I mean, I'm glad I gave it a fair chance because I loved it. One of my favorite movies of the year by far. What is my opinion on illegal downloading? First of all, I'm so weary and I don't download anything at all. So I'm against it. I mean, obviously, I can't advocate illegal downloading. Obviously, people need to make money for making these movies. You're basically taking, especially low budget independent stuff like that. That's not something you should do, especially for that. Not saying you should do it at all, but I don't download anything myself. I don't know if you're talking about movies or music. I don't do either one. I use iTunes for my music, movies, and so yeah, I don't know. I don't like taking the risk to. I always hear of people getting like viruses and stuff like that. I would never want to take the risk. So glad I'm not the only one that loves Only God Forgives. JW Universe, big ups. JW Universe, shout out to him. Also a very cool guy. Guy I've talked to a bunch on here. Has been on here a while. Very nice guy. Does anybody know how long I've been doing this for? I don't know. Hopefully, I don't want to go too long and bore anybody. Is it just me, or did 2013 kind of suck in terms of movies? I wouldn't say it sucked, but I'll be honest, I was disappointed from what I've seen so far. I've seen a fair amount of movies. There's only a few that I want to see on my list that I haven't seen. But so far, I've been disappointed overall for a year. But I always feel like this time of year, towards the end of the year, there's movies that had limited releases or international films that we finally get over here. So hopefully, in the next couple weeks or so, I'll be watching more films, and maybe there'll be some more ones that I like. What do you think of Inglourious Basterds? I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very great take on killing Nazis. Man of Steel, Pacific Rim, Mud, Oblivion, World War Z. Oblivion was one I was so looking forward to. People hate on Tom Cruise, but I'm a fan of Tom Cruise. I can't advocate. I don't know. I think what he said was taken out of context. I don't think it was Kanye West. What he said wasn't taken out of context, but I think what Tom Cruise said was. But I'm a fan of Tom Cruise, and I was really looking forward to Oblivion. But I was a little bit disappointed. Visually stunning, very aesthetically appealing. Love the look and feel of it, but it needed more Morgan Freeman. It needed more that one actress who was also in there that I can't remember her name. I think she was in Fighter as well. But need more of those other people in there, and could have been better. World War Z could have been better as well. Kind of generic infection kind of movie, but it was all right. I would recommend The Heat. It was pretty funny, even though Sandra Bullock. I'm not a Sandra Bullock fan at all, but I did like Gravity, but still didn't really care for Sandra Bullock. Contrast between two main characters work. All right. What do you think about Goodfellas? classic. Goodfellas is amazing. I mean, Goodfellas is one of my, I don't know if I should say it's my favorite gangster movie, but it's up there. It's in the top 3 for sure, and I love the movie. Goodfellas is a classic. What Blu-ray are you most looking forward to getting in 2014? I should probably think about some of these questions a little bit before, but I don't really have too much time to think about it. The Blu-ray I'm most looking forward to, Vanilla Sky. That's my second all-time favorite movie, and that's finally getting a Blu-ray release. I've been looking forward to it, and it's pre-order on Blu-ray.com said it was $9.99. I'm on top of that, baby. I'm gonna pre-order that next paycheck. That's probably the most I'm looking forward to. Although the Criterion release for It's a Mad, 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 Mad World and Hidden Fortress as well. Looking forward to both of those Criterion Blu-ray releases. Criterion is killing it. I'm hoping. I actually wrote Criterion a bunch of films that I'd like to see them release. I hope it would be great to see that happening. All right, what am I? Let me refresh this again. Thank you to the people that are still watching this. I appreciate any support I get on here. Yeah, Oblivion, I was disappointed. An hour? It's been an hour? Holy moly. Keep going. Thank you. Thank you, Patrick Bateman. What do you guys think of American Psycho? I love American Psycho. For me, people say that's not horror. It's totally horror. It's horror comedy in a way. I mean, it's basically kind of, poking fun at all that kind of that yuppie lifestyle, but I mean, how can you not say it's horror? I mean, he's killing hookers with chainsaws, and come on. It's basically a satirical take. It's a satirical slasher in a way. I mean, I love it. Hello, Brandon Francis. Hello there. Cheers. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Christopher Nolan's Interstellar. I'm a big fan of Nolan. Christopher Nolan did a lot of great stuff, but I actually prefer his older stuff to his newer stuff. Everybody thinks of his Batman films, but for me, Prestige, Memento, those are my 2 favorite right there. But I also really liked Inception. So I'd probably go out of those Interstellar and then Winter Soldier. Amazing Spider-Man 2, I didn't really care for the trailer that much for that. So True Lies, actually I love True Lies. True Lies is amazing. I actually got to meet Tom Arnold. I think that was Tom Arnold's best movie. And I wish there was a Blu-ray release. I could have had him to sign it. I sat up right in the front row for a stand-up comedy, and I had a DVD for the movie called The Stupids, which is an aptly named movie, and he signed it while on stage, which was really cool. And he was so nice. He was actually really funny. His stand-up was hilarious. And I'd never heard of stand-up before, so I didn't know what to expect. But his stand-up was great. And then afterwards, he stayed and took pictures with everybody in the crowd. He had to have stayed for at least an hour to take pictures with people, and he was so nice. I can't say enough great things about Tom Arnold. I've had some okay experiences with certain celebrities, a couple negative, but Tom Arnold deserves lots of love. I can't say he's played in a lot of great movies, but he's just a genuine dude, though. You talk to him, he's just generally a nice person, and he was really funny. What are your thoughts on the original Night of the Demons? It's grown on me. When I originally saw the original Night of the Demons, I wasn't a big fan, but it's grown on me. And the remake, I actually liked Night of the Demons remake with Edward Furlong. I mean, it wasn't great, but I thought it was decently entertaining. I am waiting for a True Lies Blu-ray. That would be great. Hands of Stone. I'm not sure what Hands of Stone is about. I'll have to check that out. Thank you for that. It gives me something to check out. New Transfer Blue. Yes! Curtains. I'm so looking forward to the Curtains. I think that's a Synapse release coming, right? Oh, I love Curtains. That was such an underrated film. I hope it was one of those ones where it was on the DVD packs. I didn't hear anything about it at first. One of those random horror DVD packs. So I'm so happy that's going to get a good transfer and a Blu-ray release. I love Curtains. I hope they do the same thing for Blood Diner. Blood Diner is also one of those ones that was put on those kind of combo packs of different horror, like 8-pack or 6-pack of horror movies. Blood Diner is a personal favorite of mine. It's cheesy, fun. I love the heck out of Blood Diner. And I've actually talked to a bunch of people from Blood Diner. They sent me messages on Facebook and YouTube. I did a video talking about it. I had a German digipack release from Dragon because at the time there was no DVD release here in the States. And I had a bootleg DVD for forever for that. If you went to, they used to do, there's a site, I can't remember the name of the site, that would do, for movies that aren't out on DVD, they would make copies of it and put it out on DVD. So I had that for ages. I still do. But that deserves a Blu-ray release. Blood Diner is an amazing horror comedy movie. If you don't, if you haven't heard of Blood Diner and you like cheesy '80s horror comedy movies, definitely check out Blood Diner. Love it. Oh, okay. Gaming glasses. I used to game a lot more than I do now. I'm not as big as I used to be, as far as gaming was. But yeah, I was big on like the SNES days. That was my jam back in the day. NBA Jam. I was undefeated at NBA Jam. I remember one time my best friend was about to beat me, and I accidentally like kicked it off real quick before I lost. I was gonna lose. I was like, no. In College Slam, I was big into College Slam. I was big into sports games and stuff like that too when I was younger. Back to the whole Godzilla. Portugal, awesome. Not anticipating anything new much next year. Romero, I feel like the same way with Romero and Argento. Love they're legends, obviously, but their newer films I'm not that big of a fan of. I did like Land of the Dead though, but yeah, I didn't really. Survival of the Dead was. There's parts of it I did like, but yeah, I love their older stuff over their newer stuff. John Carpenter, least favorite John Carpenter film, The Ward. I've never seen so many hot chicks in a mental institution before. Models go to these institutions all the time. I mean, I don't know. I didn't care for The Ward. I even like Ghost of Mars better. All right. Okay. All right. I'm looking forward to Rob the Mob. Michael Pitt is underrated. Okay. Thank you, New Wave Fan 1. Movie Magnum. 25th Hour. Yes, I like 25th Hour as well. Edward Norton. I like Edward Norton. I feel like, I don't know exactly what happened with him, the Hulk situation, and not being in Avengers. And I guess he wanted more creative freedom. I don't know. I feel like Terrence Howard. The same thing with Iron Man. He was in the first Iron Man movie. Personally, I think Don Cheadle's a way better actor, so that was a big upgrade. I'm a big Don Cheadle fan. Favorite Don Cheadle film? It has to be Rebound, the story of Earl the Goat Manigault. Love that movie. If you haven't seen Rebound, story of Earl the Goat Manigault, definitely go check that out. Don Cheadle was in there, and he was fantastic. And it's a sad movie, very touching movie. If you like basketball movies and biopics like that, definitely check that out. Somebody else asked that earlier. Lights, Camera, Jackson. I didn't know it's apparently a teenage movie critic. I assume he's on YouTube. I haven't seen him before, so it gives me somebody to check out. What holiday movies have you seen yet? I did my top 10 favorite Christmas movies video on here, so if you want to check that out on my channel, go do so. I'm proud of that video. Actually, the video itself, I'm proud of the list, but the video was choppy. The editing, for some reason, there was a couple like here and there, like a quick word will be like cut off or something. Like I don't know. I have bad luck with technology. But my all-time favorite Christmas movie is It's a Wonderful Life. Second would probably be A Christmas Story. Third would probably be National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I also like March of the Wooden Soldiers. Elf grew on me a lot. I like that one. When I first saw Elf, I wasn't a big fan, but now it's grown on me. I love Elf. Yeah, so those are just a few off the top. Home Alone, of course. Did you see ABCs of Death? Yes, I did a movie review of ABCs of Death. Go check out my movie review. I'm proud of that video, even though it doesn't have a lot of views. But I liked the Alphabet Anthology. It was a mixed bag for sure. There's a couple that stinkers, but overall I thought there were some cool, unique ideas. Where did you live in Germany? I lived in Frankfurt. Hello from Holland. Thank you. What did you think of Sinister and VHS films? VHS. I love the first VHS. I love these horror anthologies coming out. Speaking of ABCs of Death. VHS 2, overall, I liked VHS 1 better, but VHS 2 had the best segment out of both films, and that was the name of the segment, the religious, crazy one. It was the long segment. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it was the crazy religious one, and that was an awesome segment. And Sinister, to me, had some creepy imagery going on, but they used the jump scares a little too much, and it kind of let me down. I wanted to see more of the demon, and the second half I didn't care for as much. Wasn't a huge fan of it, but there were some parts I liked to it. But it's cool to see, man, what's the guy's Ethan Hawke doing kind of not necessarily low budget, but doing some horror movies and stuff. I hated uh, what was the name of that movie? The one where there's no laws for whatever for that one day and people kill people and things like that. I hated that movie. The whole premise was ridiculous. But it's cool to see him doing movies like that. Love American Psycho, definitely classic. Original Night of the Living Dead for Criterion. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, that would be great to see that happen. It's definitely worthy, but there's so many releases for that film. I think it's like a public domain film too. So I hated the twist in Oblivion. All right, for those of you who follow my channel, I actually kind of called the twist to Oblivion from the trailer. I did a video before I watched the movie for Oblivion. I talked about what I thought would happen. I was pretty close to what the twist was. I knew it was going to happen before I saw the Did you watch Party of Five in the '90s? I did. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I watched Party of Five. Yeah. They just released the last 3 seasons on DVD box set. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I watched Party of Five. I wasn't a huge fan. But Body Bags. That has a Blu-ray release now, right? From Scream Factory. Gotta pick that up. John Carpenter. Awesome. Definitely. Need to pick that up. Thank you for reminding me of that. Do you watch The Walking Dead? Yes, I do. I usually update on certain shows that I watch right now. I think they're all on hiatus right now. The Walking Dead, Sons of Anarchy, and How I Met Your Mother. And I usually on Facebook I will update while I watch it. Like I'll watch it, and if there's a commercial, I'll type a little something in there, and So yes, I watched those. And The Walking Dead mid-season finale was amazing. Blew me away. My heart was just palpitating. Keep streaming for a while. Okay, I will. I mean, movies that came out on Christmas. Oh, sorry, no, I didn't watch anything on Christmas Day. I want to see Wolf of Wall Street though. That I really want to see. Yes, the score. I like the score a lot with De Niro and Norton. Yes, I agree. Norton, I used to be a big fan of, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just hearing negative things, but it does seem he's a little bit full of himself lately. I don't know. Maybe I'm incorrect. Maybe I'm just hearing false information, but that's unfortunate if that's the case. It's maybe some, it's hard to probably stay humble when you're, a famous movie star. So props to the people that do stay humble, though. What did you think of the Halloween 35th anniversary Digibook transfer? It was great. The transfer was great. That was the only thing good about it. I think they dropped the ball as far as the packaging-wise. It was the worst Digibook I've ever seen packaging-wise. I mean, the way the disc sat in there was awful. I didn't like the cover image. There was no artwork on the back, and it was so thin. It was ridiculous, and yeah. But the transfer was great. All right, Vanilla Sky's getting a Blu-ray. Yes. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it as well. For me, it's my second favorite movie. I loved that. I saw that movie in the theater. I remember exactly. I saw it in Lowe's on Route 1 in New Brunswick, and I was dating this girl for a while. We dated for like 4.5 years, and we were going through a tough time, and we saw that movie. We were both like getting choked up from that movie, and just kind of meant something special to us. And I always think of that time whenever I watch that movie. I love it. It's just everything. It's a remake, by the way, of Open Your Eyes, and I thought it's way better on every single aspect to me. The acting is way better. The characters are more developed. The directing, the cinematography, the score and soundtrack. Just that movie introduced me to Sigur Rós. Sigur Rós, an amazing Icelandic band. Love them. All right, let me see where I'm at here now. See you, Sublime. Once again, sorry for your loss. Got work in 3 hours. Need sleep. Totally understand. Thank you for being with me, Random Studios FM, and thank you for everybody. What movie do you hate that everybody loves? That's another video I meant to do. Movies that everybody loves that I hate, and movies that everybody hates that I love. Movies that everybody loves. Blair Witch. For me, that's like the most overrated horror movie ever. Blair Witch Project, and also Paranormal Activity 1. Everybody loves those movies. Can't stand either one of them. I think they're trite, cheap, nothing special. There's a ton of movies that people love that are like mainstream popular movies that I am not a fan of. A lot of movies. I don't know. I can't say. I don't want to be kind of pretentious, and I don't know. There's just not a lot of new original ideas these days. It seems like. Again, it seems like anytime a movie does well internationally, we just rip it off over here. Those are just a couple. What films do you think should be on Criterion, regardless if it's already on Blu-ray or not? I did a whole post on that already. Ryan David Rogers. Check out my Facebook post about that. Body Bags, yes. Or yes, I'm gonna make a top 10 best movies of 2013, but it's probably not gonna be for a couple weeks because again, I'm going to Virginia for my dad's funeral, and I'm not gonna be doing anything like that. I'm gonna be down there with family and stuff for the next few days. Tomorrow's the viewing, and then the funeral's on Monday, but I'm going there after the viewing, and so it's probably gonna be mid-January before I get that up. And my favorite movie of the year, Prisoners. Again, I thought Prisoners was a bit overrated, overhyped. I thought it was predictable, so formulaic, and I thought the police officers and prisoners were, especially Jake Gyllenhaal's character, were inept and basically dumb luck that they figured things out. And immediately as soon as I saw that picture, I was like, come on, you could have figured that out like so quickly. But I will say the acting performances make that movie. I like the little things here and there, especially the facial tic of Jake Gyllenhaal's character that kind of added depth to that character, made him feel more authentic. And Hugh Jackman, his performance was just powerful in that movie. Loved his performance in that. Made the movie for me. I've not seen Wolf of Wall Street, but I definitely want to see that. The Purge, yes, The Purge. I hated The Purge, and they're making a sequel because they made it for so cheap and it did so well, unfortunately. I hated the premise. I hated everything about it. Oh. All right, let me refresh this again. No new questions? I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, 2001 Space Odyssey? Absolutely. That's an all-time classic. That's probably, I'm not either top 15 or top 20 all-time favorite movies for me. Again, I'm big into sci-fi, so sci-fi is my second favorite genre behind horror. I love all genres of film, but horror is my favorite. Sci-fi is my second favorite. Game of Thrones, I have not seen an episode of Game of Thrones, but I picked up season 1 of the special edition box set that came with the Dragon Egg. I picked that up. I'm going to watch that soon. I've heard just nothing but rave reviews for it, so I'll be Paranormal Activity. Definitely, thank you. Many people don't agree with me, but I think it's way overhyped. Okay, Palu RR, see you later. Thank you for hanging out. So I don't know, what do you guys think so far of, this is my first time doing one of these live streaming things. Clearly I ended that other one quickly because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And this one doesn't have the Q&A option that the other one had for some odd reason. And again, it's weird because it's, I don't know, maybe I'm just not, something's not right on my end or what, because when I look on YouTube, the questions aren't coming up. The comments on the video aren't coming up, but I'm looking at my phone and they're coming up on my phone. And the group chat, there's nothing on the group chat thing, which I guess that is part of Google Plus or something. Yeah, Google Plus. Google Plus Hangouts, whatever. There's nothing right there, so. But yeah, this is my first time doing this. Maybe I'll do it a few more times, get more acquainted with it, and check it out. So maybe let's see if there's any more questions on here. Justin Evernham. Do you like the movie Goodfellas? Somebody else actually already asked that, and yes, it's amazing. It's personally your favorite mafia-related movie. For me, it's in my top 3 favorite gangster movies of all time, easily. It's one of my all-time favorite movies as well. I can't see when I think of gangster films. See, I kind of include Bronx Tale, and Bronx Tale would take the spot for me. But Goodfellas is really more of a direct kind of mafia kind of movie. So Goodfellas is amazing, absolutely. I hope I didn't miss anybody's questions. I'm trying to get everybody's questions on here. I might have missed some of the earlier ones. It would be cool if I did something like this every week. If I'm able to, yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. I like this interaction. For me, that's the most important and coolest thing about making videos on here is the interaction. I'm not going to get rich off of this, but, it's all about talking to cool people. And like a lot of my friends, they're not into horror at all, and they're not into movies quite as much as I am, and I'm big into movies, and it's cool to see other people out there that are into movies as well and talking about movies and just all kinds of things. I love that. It's fun. You're doing Naturally Doing Live? Oh, I don't know. Yes, Blair Witch Blows. Thank you. Usually everybody hates me for saying that, but I'm just not a fan. Yes, Paranormal Activity, overrated horror movies, yes. This is fun, thank you. What is your favorite Nightmare on Elm Street sequel? Dream Warriors, I love Dream Warriors. That's probably mine as well. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the Freddy. He said the Freddy remake looked like a turtle. That's awesome. What do you think is the who do you think is the most overrated director working today? See, every time I think of something negative director today, I think of Michael Bay. I don't necessarily think he's overrated or necessarily horrible. I'm just not necessarily a big fan of his movies, but they're popcorn action. Sometimes you're in the mood for that. Like I like Bad Boys. I like Bad Boys too. There's certain things I like about that, but I wasn't a fan of the Transformers movies. But I get that. I understand what they're for. They're not trying to win Oscars, but they're fun. They're entertaining. I can appreciate that, but I hate to say it, but I think Spielberg is kind of overrated now. Not back in the day, but now. His newer movies recently, not loving them quite as much. Again, I hate. It pains me to say that because I love some of his older movies. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I mean, if the response is good, yeah, I'll keep doing these live streaming videos. I mean, it's fun. It's interaction. You know, worst movie I've ever seen. I talked about this earlier already. I'll give you my worst two movies I've ever seen were both low-budget horror movies. One was called Skeleton Key 3, which had nothing to do with the Kate Hudson Skeleton Key, the first one. Nothing to do with that. It was just an awful movie. It looked like somebody just made it with a bunch of their friends and walked around the woods and put on cheap paint on there. It was just a mess of a movie. And then Knock Knock 2, which was awful as well. Kind of tried to play up the whole point of view aspect, kind of found footage style, and I thought it was just really cheap. And a lot of these found footage movies, they're not special to me. They're something that anybody can make, and it's just because certain movies like Blair Witch kind of popularized it and became real popular and made a lot of money. Cannibal Holocaust did it way back in the day. There's other movies that did before it. There was an alien movie, alien abduction movie. It was Alien Abduction in Lake County or Incident in Lake County, which I really enjoyed that one. But yeah, those are my least two. The whole found footage genre is just getting so overused, and I feel like so many people are trying to do it and it shouldn't be done. But a lot of those movies, that independent, low budget kind of horror movies especially, maybe shouldn't be just put on YouTube. They shouldn't get a DVD or Blu-ray release, and maybe just for their friends and family and stuff like that to watch. And I'm not saying that for everybody because Peter Jackson started doing low budget horror, and he's huge now. I mean, there's a lot of movies. Evil Dead, low budget horror, blew up. So I can't say it for everybody, but there's a lot of these ones. I see a lot of these short horrors on YouTube, and they're amazing. They're way better than a lot of these feature-length horror films. Those people should be getting more credit, and I don't know how some of these people are getting these movies made. But yeah, the worst two movies I've ever seen: Knock Knock 2 and Skeleton Key 3. Awful. They need to be burned in the backyard and taken out of existence. Ryan David Rogers found your post about Criterion suggestions. Looks like you unintentionally predicted Persona. Persona's getting a Criterion release? Awesome. And I have a feeling that the kid will get one sooner or later. I hope so. Yeah, I made. It's funny. I had a whole notebook of video ideas I want to do. One of them was Criterion movies that should get, or movies that should get a Criterion Collection release, and nearly a good percentage of them. I probably did like 2 years ago. I probably made that list, and most of them have had Criterion releases now. So we're the same wavelength, Criterion. At least for a lot of the different ones, so that's pretty cool. And I hope the kid definitely. I mean, see, non-movie related question: have you ever heard of the Tall Whites Aliens? Aliens freaks me out. Honestly, that's like the one genre. Alright, here's the things that freak me out as far as movie-wise goes: aliens, alien abductions, all that kind of stuff. Number one, creepy kids and creepy like dolls. Those freak me the heck out. So there you go. Tall Whites. I mean, they're I guess a type of aliens. No pants. I'm actually wearing pants. I'm wearing sweatpants. I usually don't like to wear pants. If you know me, I don't like to wear pants. Even when I was in my fraternity house, I'd be out on the porch in my boxers. I've helped girls parallel park in my boxers. Like I'd see some girls try to park in front of the street. Like, you need help? And, But yeah, I'm wearing sweatpants right now. So I don't know why. I don't feel like the video quality is very good for this. I remember I tried to do the record from your webcam, and that seemed to do better. And then all of a sudden I tried it again, and I don't know, it just doesn't look quite as good. I don't know, it looks a little fuzzy. I don't like that. I don't know how to fix that, or if it's just I'm stuck with it because that's. But I swear it looked a little bit better before. Frankenstein, 2014. What did I miss? Oh, I don't know what that. Okay, here, Sublime. Is that you that likes Fire in the Sky? Yeah, I love Fire in the Sky. My all-time favorite alien abduction movie is Fire in the Sky. That movie scarred me when I was a kid. I probably watched it when I was like 14 or 15, and I couldn't watch it again for like years. I didn't watch it again until just like a couple of years ago. Didn't freak me out as much now, obviously, but when I was younger, it freaked me the heck out. And that scene when he's on the spaceship, he's getting dragged through, and then that still creeps me out, but not quite as much as it used to. It gave me like nightmares for a long time. Fire in the Sky is amazing, definitely. Gotta go, dude. James Merchant from the UK. It's 1 a.m. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate that. Lots of love from the US to the UK. We ran away, but we still love you. What was my favorite sequel to Scream? Okay. There's another movie that is very popular that people love that I'm not a fan of. Not a fan of the Saw movies. There's most of the Saw movies I'm not a fan of, especially the later sequels. The first Saw was okay. A couple of sequels were okay, but most of the sequels I wasn't a fan of, especially the last couple ones. And they're gonna make a new one. I knew they would. Money. If it comes down to money, they'll make it. And Scream is the same way too. I'm not a big fan. There's a whole wave of like Scream, Urban Legend, Valentine, a couple other different ones in there. I Know What You Did Last Summer, all those kinds of ones. I just wasn't a fan. That just seemed overly schmaltzy and glossy and too pretty, and I don't know. I just wasn't a big fan of this. I know everybody loves the Scream movies. I haven't seen the last Scream movie though. Have you seen The Wolf Children? It's an amazing movie. No, I haven't. I haven't even heard of it. So I'll have to check that out. What is my favorite zombie film of all time? You know, I would have to. I don't know. I'm kind of Dawn of the Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead, and Night of the Living Dead, and Return of the Living Dead they're all like right there. They're probably all either top 10 or top like 15 for me. Return of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead, and original Dawn of the Dead. Those are all some of my all-time favorites. But I will say a recent one that I love that I don't hear anybody talk about is Juan of the Dead. Juan of the Dead was hilarious. It's basically kind of a parody take kind of on Shaun of the Dead, except for Juan of the Dead. It's a Cuban movie, Cuban zombie movie, and I love it. Fido is really good as well. Kind of a Leave It to Beaver zombie movie. Human Centipede is the worst movie I've seen. Human Centipede was so overhyped, and you know, people consider it a disturbing movie. No, not at all. The concept is disturbing, but it didn't actually. The movie itself wasn't disturbing. The kind of idea of it didn't go into the movie as well. Human Centipede 2 was disturbing, sick and twisted though. Yeah, that one was more creepy. David Lynch movies. All right. I like some of them. I don't like some of them. I love Lost Highway. I love. Oh my gosh. Brain fart. Why can't I think of Mulholland Drive? Why couldn't I think of that name? I'm really overtired. I haven't slept well. I went over to my mom's place last night. We didn't do anything really, but I slept on the sofa and I didn't really sleep. It was awful, and my dog was jumping around too. So I'm overtired. Forgive me. But there is I like a lot of David Lynch films. Eraserhead. I mean, but there's one that I don't like. Blue Velvet. I know a lot of people love it. I was not a fan. I remember watching that in film school, actually, film class, and yeah, wasn't a fan. But I like most of his other stuff that he's done. As a kid, what was the most memorable movie that you saw in theaters? I would have to say like E.T. or Mac and Me or something like that. You know, I watched. Those are ones that stuck out in my mind as a little kid. So yeah, one of those. Michael Bay is his own genre. I agree. How do you think Rob Zombie did on the Halloween remake? Wasn't a big fan of the Halloween Rob Zombie remake, but I did really like House of a Thousand Corpses, and Lords of Salem I loved up until the ending. I think he did a pretty good one on the first one, but didn't like I actually like the second one better. I know I'm in the minority there, but that's all right. Hopefully no one asked that question, but they did. That's all right, though. I don't mind re-answering questions like that. That's fine. I know I've been on here for a while now doing this live stream, so Yeah, Dawn of the Dead remake. I think somebody was responding to somebody else on here, Dave Simon H. Yeah, I love the Dawn of the Dead remake. I know a lot of people hated on it, hated Zack Snyder, but I thought Dawn of the Dead remake was a fantastic modern take on the original. The original one obviously had more of a kind of social commentary. Uh, so did Night of the Living Dead, the original Night of the Living Dead. But the remake I thought was excellent. I loved it. Very fast paced and tense. And I love the one of my favorite scenes is when they're shooting the celebrity lookalikes. I thought that was awesome. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I love the Dawn did it also. The remake was awesome, definitely. Maximum Overdrive. I don't think it. Well, I can't say Repo Man got a Criterion release, so I mean it's possible. Maximum Overdrive was awesome though. Emilio Estevez. And I still have the Anchor Bay DVD, the one that got recalled with the body and the grill. So yeah, I liked Maximum Overdrive a lot. The original Romero Dead trilogy, definitely. I like the Scream movies. That's cool. I mean, everybody's different. I like the first Saw, hated the second, didn't get past the first few minutes of the third. Okay, Psycho. See you later, buddy. Video quality is fine. Okay. Maybe I'm just too picky. Maybe it's looking. Maybe it looks better to you guys than it does to me. I don't know, but it looks fuzzy a little bit. I don't know. I do have the fan on, ceiling fan, so maybe that's part of it too. I love the Little Shop of Horrors Director's Cut unboxing video. Thank you, Chris Lutit. I appreciate that. Hopefully I said that correctly. But I messed up on that video. I messed up on one of the names in there. But I love that movie, and I love that edition. Fantastic. That's probably one of my favorite digibook that I have right now is Little Shop of Horrors Director's Cut. Do you think aliens exist? Man, I just had a discussion about this recently. It's kind of, I mean, maybe what we think of aliens aren't really aliens. Maybe they're time travelers. There's so many different crazy possibilities, but it's crazy to think that we are the only life out there in all the universe. But could you imagine if we were? Kind of sad that's the case. But I have seen a UFO. I'm going to talk about this openly. I want to do a whole separate video for this. When I was like 15, 16, 17, around there, I saw a UFO, and it was a crazy, creepy experience. I was over my friend Mario's house, and I was with my friend Chris, and we played Magic the Gathering. And it was late at night. I want to say it was like anywhere between 12 and 2. We were 12 and 2:30 late at night, and we were walking back, and this is the craziest part to me. We saw this huge thing right over this house, and it's the house where I used to live. I used to live right there, and we had moved to the next development over. And so that was crazy. And me and Chris stopped. We just stared at it, and within seconds it was gone. Like that. And it was this huge UFO. And it was right above where I used to live, which is so crazy. And Chris and I said, we were like, listen, we were so freaked out. We're like, listen, we're not going to talk about this to anybody. We're not going to tell anybody. We're not going to ever talk about it. And I haven't talked to Chris in, like forever. But, that was crazy to me. So I don't know if that was, was it monitoring? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. What do you guys think? Are there aliens? I mean, I don't want to be a jerk, but if somebody were to tell me, oh, I saw aliens or this or that, and I'd be like, shh. But then I have that one experience when I was younger. I saw that. I mean, there's inexplainable. I mean, it was gone within seconds. So I want to do a whole video talking more in depth about that. But yeah, favorite slasher movie. Mine is The Burning. You know what? That's another horror movie that everybody loves. The Burning. Not a fan of The Burning. I think it was Tom Savini's worst effects. I think the editing was awful, especially at the final scene. The raft scene that everybody loves, I thought the effects were really bad, especially the one scene with the head and the neck. I wasn't a big fan, honestly. My favorite slasher film, I want to say, the granddaddy, the stereotypical answer would be Psycho, kind of the grandfather of all slashers and everything like that. But if you're not including Psycho, I'd have to say either the original The House on Sorority Row or Tourist Trap. Those are top two for me right there. Slashers, or also the original My Bloody Valentine, amazing. And I'm glad they have like the new uncut edition DVD because that's so good, so good. And Just Before Dawn for me is the prototypical backwoods slasher film. Love it, and that final scene is just crazy to me. I just picked up the Blu-ray for that as well. And really, the just extended kind of the scenes in there were just kind of like extended scenes of the woods and stuff like that. Nothing really too new in there. I didn't see. Oh no, that's fine. Seco, that's cool. You ask me about that all the time. I don't mind. Usually, I don't wear pants. Someone was asking about that. Yeah. And I mean, I know the burn is really popular, so no hate from me. I get it, but just for me, you know, wasn't that impressed with it. But I also, a slash movie that I love recently would be the Hatchet series. The first Hatchet movie I absolutely loved, and the third one I loved. The second one I didn't love. I thought it had a couple cool. I think it had two really cool, unique kills. Besides that, I wasn't a big fan. It was too derivative of the first one, but I definitely think Alien. All right, that's cool. Definitely saw Razor Wire reviews. Thanks for coming back, buddy. Definitely saw UFO once. It wasn't up close, but it was clearly not anything from this planet. Yeah, I want to make a whole video discussion about that because I think that's something I'm really interested in. I like to hear other people's experiences too. Yeah. What are your favorite Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984, Halloween, or Texas? My favorite but you're forgetting Friday the 13th. Chris Brock asked me, Nightmare on Elm Street original, Halloween original, Texas Chainsaw Massacre original. You can't say all those and not have the original Friday the 13th because out of all those, I would say my favorite is the original Friday the 13th. But of the ones that you mentioned, that's tough. Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm going to say because I have a special kind of feeling. It was like one of my very first horror movies I ever watched as a little kid, so I'm going to go with Nightmare on Elm Street. But Halloween's a classic. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a classic. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 I love as well. If you make a sequel from any movie, what would you choose? I had somebody asked me this question recently, and I think I thought about it a little bit more. I'm gonna pass on that one right now because I know I answered it in the Q&A video, and now I can't think of what my answer was. Favorite exploitation movie, mine is Hell of the Living Dead. That's a tough one too. You guys are covering some good questions. Hold on, I need to get a drink actually. Un momento por favor. And today we have ShopRite's Diet Root Beer. Straight from the bottle, homies. That's how I do. Pour a little out. Now I'm sitting on my bed, so I can't do that. Oh yeah, refreshing. Favorite exploitation movie? That's kind of a broad spectrum, really. It's kind of tough. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one, actually. That's a good question, though. I'm gonna have to think about that one for a minute. Poltergeist remake. See, I love the original Poltergeist. See, certain movies I just love so much, it pains me to hear that they're being remade. Like the Fright Night movie, original Fright Night movie, one of my all-time favorite horror movies, one of my all-time favorite vampire movies, and I hated the remake. But the Poltergeist remake is one of the things I'm really want to see if they make it good. Yeah, I don't know. I love it, so I don't want to see it remade. I love all of the Poltergeist movies. The second one, the third one. The second one had the creepy old dude. The third one, I think it only has an Italian Blu-ray and a couple other. Doesn't have one here in the U.S. yet, but I want to get that one too. What is your favorite sports movie? Mine is Coach Carter. I wasn't a big fan of Coach Carter. I remember I was hanging out with this girl though, and the girl got her brother or something, or brother or uncle or something got a bootleg of it, and we watched it, and wasn't a fan, but I did hook up with that girl, Tiffany. Anyway, that's the whole other. That chick ended up being super crazy, by the way. Cray. My favorite sports movie, I want to say Rebound, the story of Earl the Goat Manigault with Don Cheadle. I love that movie, but there's so many great, Raging Bull. What's the Criterion one? I have it over there. I want to grab it. I can't remember the name of it right now. I'm overtired as heck, but it's the basketball documentary. Was really good. Hoop Dreams. That's up there too. Can I say Major League? I love Major League though. I do. I need to get that Blu-ray so bad. Thoughts on the girl with the dragon tattoo? I have lots of thoughts on that. The original movie is an all-time favorite of mine. Modern classic, an amazing movie, one of the greatest movies ever made, in my opinion. Love it, love the cast, Noomi Rapace. And then there's the remake. Everybody loves the remake. This is a movie also that's
people love that I'm not a big fan of. Can't say that I hate it, because there is some things I do like about it, but I think it pales in comparison to the original. And I don't like Daniel Craig in the role. I just felt like that was a miscast right there. So, but I definitely prefer the original. The girl with the dragon tattoo, amazing to me. And I think there was some like another critic on here. I think he's a little bit older. Did a whole video about it, and he put out the numbers, and he basically said it didn't. The original did well everywhere except for Britain and the U.S. and the U.K. And the remake did basically not anywhere near as well, except for in the U.S. and U.K. So obviously it came down to English-speaking people, and that's, you know, subtitles. They can be your friends. The more movies you watch with subtitles, the easier it is to retain. And the original, for me, it's just an amazing, amazing movie. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. And I heard they're even going to remake Troll Hunter. I love Troll Hunter as well. I came here to kick ass, chew bubblegum, all that bubblegum. Classic line right there. I don't have the Scream Factory release for it. Do I? They Live? I don't think I ended up getting it. Maybe I did. I think I might have got it when they had the sale. I wanted to wait to try to get it with the poster because I missed the pre-order for it. I wanted to see if anybody on eBay had it with the poster because I love the artwork, the Dude Abides artwork. I believe it was the Dude Abides that did that. I think that was the artist's name. He had the Dude something. I'm tired right now. Sandlot, I guess, would be considered kind of like a coming of age. I love the Sandlot. Love that movie. I picked up the recent special edition Blu-ray for it. I'm kind of mad about all these repackagings, like Big. My roommate just got the new 25th anniversary edition of Big. With you open it up, it plays Chopsticks musical. Kind of reminds me of those holiday cards. But basically, the only thing new on it was the slipcover. It was a repackaged Blu-ray of the older Blu-ray because I have the older Blu-ray. I think it had the same exact special features. The disc artwork, I think, was exactly the same, except for there's one little difference on the disc artwork. It has like a symbol, like the Fox symbol or MGM. I can't remember which one, but yeah. What did you think of the horror movie You're Next? I haven't seen You're Next. I didn't see it because it just looked, from the trailers, it just looked like a generic home invasion kind of movie, and I've seen so many of them. Here's another movie that people love that I didn't care for, and that's The Strangers. To me, that was just basically a rip-off of the French film Them, which was amazing to me. And The Strangers, for me, is one of the biggest letdowns ever. I was so hyped to see that movie from the trailer. I saw that trailer, I was like, yes, I can't wait. And I saw the movie, I was so let down, especially by the ending. It just didn't have that same tension. It just didn't do it for me at all. And again, the ending was a big letdown. But Them, love that movie. You're Next. I'm going to give it a chance because I have heard some good reviews for it, but just the trailer didn't do it for me. Favorite 80s sci-fi cult movie? Mine is Night of the Comet. And Repo Man might be. I have Repo Man, the Anchor Bay 10. I have to get the Criterion Blu-ray. I really want to get that. That's probably high on my list for wish list right there is the Criterion Collection Blu-ray for Repo Man. Night of the Comet is one that's grown on me. I definitely want to pick up the Blu-ray for that as well. Both of my top 10, by the way. This stream is great. Thank you. I appreciate that evil film guy. I always want to say evil MILF guy. I don't know. Messing up the letters a little bit right there. Yeah, I can't remember what year. All right, here's a sci-fi movie I don't hear too many people talk about, and that's The Quiet Earth. Love that film. Post-apocalyptic kind of movie, and that's when I first saw it, I was like, it's all right, but now it's grown. I love it. And A Boy and His Dog is another one. Had Don Johnson in it, and A Talking Dog, which is kind of the link right there, and I love both of those. Post-apocalyptic movies I've been getting really into lately. Stephen King movie. All right, here's two Stephen King movies that I think are three Stephen King movies that I think are super underrated. The Night Flyer, great vampire movie, and love the ending. And the actor in there, something Ferreira, something like that, but he was really good in it. And Dreamcatcher, I know people hate on it, and the ending was a little, ending could have been ending was a tiny bit cheesy, but I still loved it, and loved the acting. And I love movies with a snowy setting as well. And what was the other? Storm of the Century. Love the heck. It's a little bit long. I think it was like a TV miniseries, I think. But yeah, again, it had some snowy setting in it as well. Those are three underrated Stephen King movies, in my opinion. My favorite one, again, that's such a tough one. I have to do a video for that. I think top 10. Badass Dracula, Badass C. Dracula said, thanks, just ordered My Bloody Valentine 1981. Didn't know there was a special edition out for it. Yeah, definitely. If you guys like horror movies, slasher films, or 80s horror, 80s slashers, definitely check out My Bloody Valentine, one of my all-time favorites. And it has the newer DVD and Blu-ray for it. It has the uncut version now, which wasn't available before, and amazing. It adds so much to it, and love it. The Liquid Snake. Have you ever been a fan of the Bond movies? Not as big as most people are. I think they're decent. They're fun. Those kinds of movies, spy action kind of movies. If so, what 007 movies do you think were the best? An actor do you think portrays the preferred Bond character? That's I always think of when I think of Bond now. I think of Puck Bond 007 on here. EJ, my friend on here. Great channel. If you guys haven't checked him out, definitely go do so. He's a huge James Bond fan. I haven't seen all of the James Bond films. I will say I did like Daniel Craig. The first two I wasn't a big fan of. In fact, Casino Royale, I hated. I hated it. For me, it reminded me of Transport, especially when he's going. He went to his car, did something with the heart. I can't remember exactly what he did now. It just reminded me of Transporter. But the last one I actually enjoyed, Skyfall. I can't say he's my favorite, though. He's not my favorite. I don't know. Should I go with Sean Connery? I'm kind of thinking Sean Connery. I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that one, too. The Critic Box reviews. Most wanted Criterion coming soon release. Well, now that I found Persona's coming out, and, well, I also like It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, Hidden Fortress. Those are... Thief. I think that was also on my list as well of ones that I recommended and wanted to get a Blu-ray release, or a Criterion Collection release. How do you suggest releases ideas for Criterion Collection? You write them. Go to Criterion Collection, their website, and there's like a contact thing, and there's an option there, and it gives you the email address for it. And I actually wrote them recently, made a Facebook post about it, and recommended, like, I don't even know how many movies, like 20 movies or something I recommended to them to do a Criterion Collection release. What did I get for Christmas? I didn't get anything for Christmas. There was no Christmas for me, unfortunately. Yeah. I want to say... my roommate got me some beer pong things, actually. They're like a beer pong trays, racks that move around. You put a battery in them, they move. And then like some kind of beer game with some cards. I didn't open it yet. And I did have one friend send me a $25 gift card, which was really nice, like a Visa gift card thing, which I got groceries with. So there you go. Those are technically, Christmas presents. So if you went a travel to one place where a movie was made, which place would you go? That's actually kind of interesting. I would, I'm so obsessed with the movie The Thing. I would like to see some of the shots in Canada, where they were shot, the outpost station. So that would be kind of cool. Maybe that. Some more alien stuff. All right, refreshing this right now. I don't know how long I've been on here for, so hopefully, guys. Storm of the Century is awesome. Yes, more people have seen it. That's awesome. Yeah, the ending. That gets me too. Favorite cheesy '80s question movie? Oh, I don't know. Let's get back to you on that one too. Favorite Dave Simon H. Favorite Studio Ghibli film? I really liked Ponyo a lot. Had to think of that for a second. Studio Ghibli's awesome. Those are usually watching Japanese with subs. Yeah, I always, I don't know. I have to watch it in the native language usually. Animated films are a little bit different, but I still like to do it like that as well. But any kind of foreign film, I watch it in the native language and read English subtitles. Some of the English dubs are okay. I know they do use a lot of for Studio Ghibli. They use a lot of famous, well-known American actors usually. So, B.B. Thornton and the Princess Mononoke. All right. What did you think of Black Christmas 1974? Definitely classic, obviously. That was such a creepy movie, especially the ending. So creepy. And I know a lot of people hate Black Xmas, the remake. I thought that was fun. It wasn't great. I think it could have been great, but towards the end of the movie, it went a little too far when they were in the hospital and everything. But original Black Christmas, love it. Ever seen the Prophecy film? Yes. I don't know. I like the first one a lot. I like a lot of the actors, especially, and I always forget his name. I'm such a big fan of his, but he has an interesting name. the lead actor in Prophecy. He was also in the last season of The Killing. He was Duncan in Some Kind of Wonderful. He was in Let Me In, the remake of Let the Right One In. He has his name starts with an E, and I can't remember his name right now, but he's a great actor, and he was in the first Prophecy film. Is horror your favorite genre? Yes. Horror is my favorite genre, and then sci-fi. How about Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? I know this might be an unpopular opinion, but I didn't care much for it. Luke Glenn. Luke Glenn, you're not alone. That movie gets such rave reviews. I wasn't that big of a fan of it either. And I feel like I should have been, because I like a lot of movies like that. But all right, here's one that I know people love, and I hate. 500 Days of Summer. Or what I like to call 500 Days of Bummer. Because that movie was such a bummer to sit through, to watch. Everything about it was just like blah. And Zooey Deschanel, I'm just not a fan of hers. She plays the same role in like every movie, quirky and a little flighty, and in her TV show, The New Girl, she's like the least interesting character on her own show. It's just not for me. I'm not a fan of her, and I just kind of rambled there. Sorry. Clint Eastwood, Heartbreak Ridge. Shout out to you. Big fan of Heartbreak Ridge. Favorite Clint Eastwood film though, acting-wise, has to be Outlaw Josie Wales. It's one of my favorite westerns. Might be my all-time favorite western. Love Outlaw Josie Wales. There you go. Yeah, some of my favorite films, French, Swedish. Yeah, definitely. Old horror movies. Did you see Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Slaughterhouse? I haven't seen Slaughterhouse. That's one I've always meant to see that I haven't. But Silent Night, Deadly Night, of course, I've seen that. Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite slashers as well. Probably top 10 for me. Love it. Naughty, the whole thing. Linnea Quigley, the antlers, the sled scene. Love that one. You better run, boy. You better run for your life. I used to say it to my dog all the time. The whole scene with the grandfather. The remake, I didn't love the remake. You know, it was a loose remake. It was just all about the gore and the kills. Just, I don't know, just didn't have that same feel to me. Hitchcock. I mean, Psycho, Birds, Rear Window for me. Those are my top three. Hitchcock, though, so many great. You know, Rope is one that I don't think gets enough love. But Hitchcock's obviously, you know, a master. Yes, great quote from They Live. All right, let me refresh this again. Any new questions? Maybe I'm not. Let me see if there's any new questions on here, guys. Give me some questions. Talk to me. Clay Picolet, you're a super sexy man. I want to meet me. Thank you. Yeah. I'm just kidding. Critic Box Reviews. Thank you, by the way, for that compliment. Who's your favorite actor of all time, and what's your favorite movie that they did? They said their favorite actor is John Wayne, and his favorite film it would be his last, The Shootist. I haven't seen that one. I should check that out. Not a big John Wayne fan. I know. I feel bad now just saying that now because you are. I think John Wayne has great screen presence, though. Great screen presence. My favorite actor of all time? That's tough. I'm thinking of some classic actors. You know, I'm a big James Stewart fan. I might have to say, you know, he was in the movie with him and John Wayne was actually really good as well. But Anatomy of Murder was good. There's a whole bunch of movies that he was in that are Harvey. But I'm going to say It's a Wonderful Life. James Stewart, It's a Wonderful Life. You know, that's just what I'm saying right now. It might change as far as my favorite actor. But I'm just going to say that right now. Unforgiven's a classic, definitely. See you later, evil film guy. 500 Days of Bummer. Thanks, man. Do you not like gay people? Says Clay Picolet. You know, I'm not homophobic at all. I'm not gay. If you are, by all means, that's cool. Doesn't affect me either way. I think gay people should have the right to be married. I think we're gonna look back on it and just think that's crazy. And like 50 years ago, interracial marriage was against the law, and that's crazy. I think we're gonna look back on same-sex marriage like we do now interracial marriage. We look back on interracial marriage being against the law as ridiculous, and I think it's the same thing. I mean, you know, if you want to be married, you should have that right. You know, as long as you're a good person, that's all that matters, really. I don't care the color of your skin, your religion, your sexuality, anything. As long as you're a nice person, that's all that matters. If you're gonna be nice to me, I'll be nice to you. Have you seen many Norwegian films? Personally, hate Troll Hunter. I love Troll Hunter. Did Snow. I love Did Snow as well. I can't wait for Did Snow too. Yeah, I actually talked about some other Norwegian films. I think it's in my Q&A video, so watch out for that. I'm going to post that soon. Rare Exports is amazing as well. Some of David Simon H. Yes, and that's another one that I meant to review. Rare Exports, and there's another movie I meant. What's the Attack the Block? That was another one. I watched both of those right around the same time, like a year or two ago. And I meant to review both of those ones, but those are both great films. Elias Kotis, Orbital Tree. I see that you wrote Elisa, then you wrote Elias. You didn't put Kotis at the end. That's his name. Thank you. Once you said that, I remembered. So yes, big fan of his. Great character actor. Deserves way more credit. Okay, action movie question. Oh, favorite action movie from the 80s? Well, first, it's not from, I think it's 90 or 91 or so. My favorite action movie of all time is The Last Boy Scout. I've talked about this many times. Great. If you like Die Hard, definitely check out The Last Boy Scout. The one-liners in it are amazing. And that intro with Billy Blanks, love it. Great football intro. Bruce Willis playing a stereotypical, detective, private detective. Damon Wayans is great in it. Danielle Harris is fantastic. The bad guy who plays Milo. I had his name remembered before. Now I can't remember right now. But you also have a small role from Halle Berry. Some other recognizable characters in there as well. Eddie Griffin plays the DJ at the strip club. Yeah. A lot of people hate on them, but I personally liked Halloween 4 and 5. What do you think about them? I like them. Yeah. So I don't mind those Halloween movies. Now, once you start Halloween H2, I wasn't a fan of though. I think the producer's cut is finally going to get some a Blu-ray release, which is cool. Halloween 6. Have you ever seen the Animatrix? Nice mix of animation styles. For me, really made up for the mediocre Matrix sequels. No, I haven't seen Animatrix yet. Halloween 2 is a classic. Favorite Bruce Lee movie? I'm gonna have to say Enter the Dragon. I like Enter the Dragon. Can't go wrong there. What do you think about Miley Cyrus? She seems wild. She seems crazy. I'd like to get to know her. I'd like to get to know her a little bit better, if you know what I mean. She could twerk for me all day. I'm all right with it. What's your favorite Halloween sequel? Halloween 2, yeah. I have to say Halloween 2. I mean, I can't. I love Halloween 3, but I can't really consider it, a genuine. It's a standalone movie. That's how I look at it. All right. Favorite movie soundtrack? That's somebody asked me that when I do my Q&A videos. When I answered it then. So look forward to that because I go more in depth about it. I'll tell you one that I loved all the time when I was younger, and that was the Above the Rim soundtrack. I used to rock the heck out of the Above the Rim soundtrack all the time. But there's a lot of good soundtracks out there. Favorite music genre, and do you go to music festivals? I used to go to concerts and stuff all the time. Not as much anymore because nowadays there's a lot of younger kids, and it kind of a little bit more obnoxious to deal with. Maybe I'm getting older and get off my lawn. But my favorite music genre, I guess classic rock. Honestly, I used to love rap, hip hop, but I'm not a big fan of the newer stuff now. Like I love Nas, Biggie, Tupac, Rakim, Eric B. Big Daddy Kane, all that kind of classic stuff. So, yeah. People talk about, I'm a big fan of Queensbridge as well. Nature, Nas, AZ, Foxy Brown, Cormega. So that whole group right there too. But yeah, classic rock though is probably my favorite. I just went on a whole tangent of rap. So. Let's see. What do we got here? How long have I been on here for? Because I don't see it on here. I know I asked before. Regulate. Yeah, that's what's up. Regulate is mount up. Warren G and Warren G and Nate Dogg. Nate Dogg just recently passed away. May he rest in peace. Can you rap? No. It's funny, when I was younger, though, I used to write raps and stuff, and I probably still have one somewhere. Frankenstein's Army. No, I haven't seen it. Thank you. I need to like write that down because I know people recommended that to me. A few people have, and I really need to see that. I've heard good things, and yeah, I definitely need to check that out. I need well, this will be in the comments section. I'll have to look at this up later because I definitely want to put that on the to watch list. Cloverfield. You know what? Cloverfield was definitely one that I think is way overhyped. It's grown on me a little bit, but I remember when I first saw the trailers, I was just like, no, no, no. It's kind of like a Godzilla type of movie, really, but it's grown on me. I don't hate it. I think it's okay. It's decent. I can pop it in. I know a lot of people like it, so that's one that I can pop in. I'm hungry. What should I eat? I also love The Last Boy Scout. Halle Berry was naked in it. I think it was. I don't think she was actually naked. I think it was a body double. I think she wasn't really naked in it. Well, maybe I have to. Though I just watched it recently, but I know of course swordfish. What should you eat? Depends on what you like. You know, what's your favorite food? I'll tell you my favorite food. Deviled eggs. That's my favorite food. Second favorite food, watermelon. When I was younger, I hated pizza. I actually, when I was a little kid, I living in Germany, in fact, I threw my pizza out the window because I didn't want to eat it, and I got caught. That's a funny little story. And my mom left the room. She's like, "Finish eating your pizza." I was like, "Oh, okay." And as soon as she left the room, I ran out to the sliding glass door, threw it out, and ran back. And she's like, "Oh, you ate that already?" She came back in. And I'm like, "Yeah." And I didn't shut the sliding glass door all the way, and she saw it out there. So that was a whooping. Yeah, but eat whatever you like. Burritos, whatever. Hey, Jay, how's Entertainment Shack? How's Tricks? Have you seen the new Planet of the Apes trailer? No, I haven't. I need to see that. I know it's out there. I know people are raving about it. I need to check out Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I need to check that out. Rise of the Planet of the Apes was pretty good. I like that. But still, the original Planet of the Apes is my all-time favorite. And they had recently Fox Connect had a sale for the Planet of the Apes collection in the Caesar Ape Head, and I got mine a long time ago. And actually, if you go on Amazon, the merchant sellers are selling it for like $190, and Fox Connect had it for $29.99. It's sold out completely now. There's no more ever. But that was an amazing deal, probably one of the best deals of all time. I wish I had money to buy a few more to give as gifts and stuff. Cabin in the Woods. Little overhyped for me personally. I hated the first half, but liked the second half, especially the ending with all the different creatures and monsters. I loved that. But the first half was kind of generic, teens in the woods kind of thing, and so. Dave Simon H asks, speaking of aliens, have you ever watched the Taken sci-fi miniseries? I think I saw a few minutes of it, but I do want to check that out. 10 movie-length episodes, very well written and acted. I'll have to check that out for sure. Ryan Dave Rogers, Frankenstein Army did a review of it, and it's in the worst 2013. Well, we might not have the same taste there. I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I do want to check it out. I think I might maybe appreciate it a little bit more because I'm big into horror. I'm not sure if you are as well, but I am. And I like cheesy horror too, so I don't know if it's cheesy or not, but 2 hours, really? All right, I'm going to have to, I don't know. Should I go on a little bit more? I don't want to go on too much longer. Maybe a little bit more. I'm the same way with Halloween 3. Cool. But yeah, I hear you. Second hour. Bad SC Dracula says, when you talk about hip-hop, you sound old, like me. Yeah, when I probably mention different rappers and stuff, probably people, younger generation probably haven't even heard of most of those people that I just mentioned before. But yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Lil Wayne or Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj would be a great porn star, but as a rapper or as a singer or musical artist, no. I think she was on the Emmys, and that was like one of the worst things I've ever heard in my life. She sounded awful, but she looks great. I'm not mad at her for that. Lil Wayne, though, no, not a fan either. Not a fan of a lot of the newer kind of rap hip-hop stuff. I don't know. It's so generic. It's like pop. It's like bubblegum pop music now. It's just, there's no real message behind it. It's all swag, swag, swag. I do like some A$AP Rocky, though. Yes, I do like the band Sublime, but I didn't name... I think when I was younger, maybe I liked Absolute Vodka and the band Sublime. Maybe I did, but I always say that, this is what I really wanted it to mean, is the literal meaning that life is absolutely sublime. And I always feel like I come off like a pretentious, douche when I say that, but I don't know. That's kind of a positive kind of outlook. I always try to keep a positive outlook on life. Life is sublime. Even when you're trying to, rough times, you got to try to be positive. Because if you're not positive, might as well just pack it in. There's nothing to really look forward to, or you got to stay positive. It's the best thing you got to do. Be patient, be positive. Gangster Squad. I haven't seen Gangster Squad. I need to see it. You know what movie I liked a lot from last year? It's the Lawless Prohibition movie. I really enjoyed Lawless. Great cast in there, and I'm not a big fan of Shia LaBeouf at all. Not a fan of most of the stuff that he's been in. Actually, I don't think I've liked just about anything I've seen him in. And but this one, I actually really liked him in this. I mean, he wasn't great in it, but he was watchable in it. And I really liked Tom Hardy. Jessica Chastain, I think, was in there as well. And she's a redhead. That is spicy. I like it. You lived in Germany. That's funny. Why is that funny? Sprechen Sie Deutsch? I don't say that as well anymore. Favorite films out of the Evil Dead series? Definitely Evil Dead 2. Love Evil Dead 2. Love it. And I know a lot of people don't think so, but I kind of consider it like a remake of Evil Dead, like a bigger budget remake of it. I mean, there's basically this going to the cabin again. Oh, phone call. Nope. But yeah, I mean, I love Evil Dead 2. What is your favorite out of the Evil Dead series, the franchise, out of all the different Evil Dead films? All right, let me see. Check out some more questions on here. Have you seen the movie Sublime? Yes, it's the one. I can't remember that guy's name. The one actor in it, and he goes under, and it's basically about him. They have to do some kind of operation on him, and yeah, I didn't care for it. Actually, I saw it a long time ago. I wasn't a big fan. I couldn't recommend watching it to anybody else. The 22 Jump Street trailer, yeah, when they go to college, I saw that. That looks like it could be funny. Actually, I really thought 21 Jump Street, going into it, I thought I was going to hate it. I didn't love it. Wasn't like a huge favorite of mine, but it was a lot better than I was expecting. And I think Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill had great chemistry, so I could definitely watch 22 Jump Street, and I probably will, because it looks like it could be fun. It kind of relates to some of my crazy times in college as well. The Caesar head is hard to find here in Scotland. Yeah, it's only for animated series too. Yeah, definitely. Oh, I don't do a good Nick Cage impression. I don't really do. Not many people I do impressions of. When I was younger, I used to do impressions a lot, but not now. I'm not a good Nicolas Cage impression guy. Sorry. Yeah. Maybe if I just saw like I can't remember all. There's some really crazy scenes of him in Wicker Man. Yeah. Remake there. Yeah, he's had some. The way he delivers his kind of like drawn out delivery of his lines is what really makes him kind of an actor that people like to parody and stuff like that. But people like to see him. People like to watch him. So I liked my favorite movie from him was probably Raising Arizona. Love Raising Arizona. Coen's brothers right there. The only modern band I listen to is the Black Keys. Cool, Black Keys. I love classic rock and classic rap also. Very cool. Yeah, 21 Jump Street, the show, I definitely like way better. I loved 21 Jump Street back in the day. Not many people probably remember that. Johnny Depp back in the day. I was this big start in that, in Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. He had a role in that too. And then Richard Grieco. What happened to him? But yeah. Spiral. Yes, I love the movie Spiral with Joel. David Coat. I can't remember that guy's name, but he was a good actor as well, and I really enjoyed that. The Adam Green, I think. But yeah, I really like Spiral. Spiral was creepy and atmospheric, and yes, I liked it. Evil Dead 2, awesome. Oh yeah, Germany. Okay, cool. Yeah, where'd you live in Germany? I lived in Frankfurt. I still have great memories of the Rhine River. I went on like a class trip cruise on the Rhine River. It was beautiful. I love the old world architecture with the castles and things like that. We don't really have that over here in the States. That's one thing I love about Europe in general. The old world architecture, so much history. We just don't have that here. That's a shame. We have skyscrapers. We tear down old buildings. We put up, skyscrapers with no history, and I don't know. just love that old architecture with the history. It's just, I don't know, it's pretty cool. The most prized movie I own. Do you mean like collector's edition, or do you mean my favorite movie? My favorite movie is John Carpenter's The Thing. My favorite edition, maybe my Caesar head, my Planet of the Apes collection, because that has everything. It has the TV shows. But I do have Terminator 2 Endoskull set, which is signed. I always forget that guy's name, and it's such an easy name, and he's been in other movies. The guy that played the T-1000, Robert Patrick. Robert Patrick. But yeah, that was kind of, I actually got that for a great deal. So he signed the T2 Endoskull, like right there on the side of the head. I did a video where I showed getting that in the mail, so that's probably one of my, because it's so rare. But I also have the Sleepaway Camp Red Cross Survival set, the recalled one, and it's signed up by a whole bunch of different people from the cast, so that's pretty cool as well. And then I have a very rare Suspiria in Deep Red Japanese box set. It's a heat box set. If you press your hand on it for a few seconds, it's all black, and then it'll reveal an image underneath, which is really cool. And I've been meaning to do a video unboxing for that for ages. I really need to do that because that's such an awesome set. And so yeah, those are a couple of my favorite editions right there. All right, I'm going to take a few more questions, and then I think I'm going to bounce. My throat is killing me from all this talking. And having German in school, I hated. No offense. I love Germany. It was such a beautiful country, and I wish I would retain the language more. When I moved back to the States, nobody spoke it, and you know, I definitely want to learn it again. Go back there for Oktoberfest. And Dom DeLuise's son was Def's partner in 21 Jump Street. I don't remember too much. I have to go back and. Oh, that was him. Okay, I know who. Yeah, I remember that guy. He was in a couple other things too. He was in. Oh man, he was in a horror movie once too, I believe. Midnight Hour, I think. I think that was him with Lamar Burton. Might have been in there too. I'm pretty sure that he was in that. But yeah, I know who you're talking about now. Do you like The Conjuring? Yeah, The Conjuring. James Wan. Big fan of James Wan. Dead Silence was amazing. Conjuring. I don't think it had a lot of new ideas. Basically a possession movie. But it was very well done, very atmospheric, very creepy, great visceral visuals, and great acting as well. The Annabelle doll was totally creepy. But yeah, I did like The Conjuring. One of my favorite horror movies of the year. One of my, I kind of don't want to put it in my favorite, favorite movies of the year. But right now, because I just haven't seen a lot of ones that really blew me away. I've seen a lot of movies this year, but not a lot of ones that blew me away. Clay Pigolette asks, "Do you have a girlfriend?" No, I'm single. I'm single and ready to mingle. Yeah, I don't know. I'm on a couple different dating sites right now, and I don't know, man. Dating gets harder the older you get, and a lot of girls these days, you know, they're baby crazy or marriage crazy or crazy crazy. But no, I mean, I'm single. Thanks for. Oh yeah, Sausage Factory, definitely. The next show is January 9th. Yeah, definitely I'm gonna join you with the webcam, Orc. You know this. Orc's Corner all day. The Sausage Factory. Lots of love to them again. The Sausage Factory is a group of guys on here on YouTube. They have a whole channel dedicated to it, and then every Thursday they do a live streaming video where they talk about. I think it's for a couple hours. They talk about different horror movies, different horror subjects, things like that. And I think they're on hiatus now until January 9th, I think it was. Yeah, January 9th. And yes, I'd be cool to join you guys. And they're going to be talking about Bond films. So there you go. Mustache Hilarity says, "I'm talking to a girl right now. This is the most exhilarating moment of my life." What girl are you talking to? 'Cause I'm all man, baby. I got a baby face, but got some big lips, but I'm all man, baby. Modern band, okay. I hate Google Plus. Yeah, no, I hate Google Plus too. It was just a disaster. I hate the whole commenting system now. Do you edit your videos? Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. I do edit. Yeah, he said that's why you stopped making videos. Keep making videos though. It's a pain, but it's worth it, and the interaction is really what makes it fun. Yeah, I hate editing. I have like literally 50 videos that I have filmed that I have to edit, and I just haven't uploaded them because I don't want to edit. Great chatting with you. Hope you will do some more of these live videos. Take care, New Wave Fan 1. Worst movie of 2013, in my opinion. You know, I was just talking to somebody about this. I don't know my least favorite film. You know, maybe movie 2343, whatever it was. And then that stupid movie with Ethan Hawke again that I've already forgotten the name of. Purge, A Haunted House. And there's one other one I saw recently that I really hated, and I can't remember the name of it right now. Oh, Getaway with Ethan Hawke. 2 movies with Ethan Hawke in it that I've hated this year. What editing software do I use? I use Corel Video Suite. I don't know what number it was, but it's not that good. I couldn't recommend it. It's a pain in the butt. It crashes a lot of times. Like a lot of times I'll be editing a video, and it'll be done, and it'll be like the rendering process, like the finalization, and then it'll crash. And I have to keep doing that like 20 times sometimes before it finally... I remember there's been times where it's taken hours to edit a video just because it kept crashing. So it's a pain in the butt. I couldn't recommend it. I don't know if it's my computer or the editing software or the combination of both, but I couldn't recommend that. So, yeah. Lords of Salem. Yes, I did watch Lords of Salem. I was loving Lords of Salem until the end. I hated the ending of Lords of Salem. Lords of Salem felt like that old classic, like 70s satanic witches cult kind of movie, and I thought it was just going to be amazing. I thought it was going to be Rob Zombie's Maximus Opus, but it wasn't. But I was loving it up until the ending. See you later, Entertainment Shack. And I think I'm going to bounce. Thank you. I think I've been 2 hours on here. So thank you for everybody who came on here, asked questions, and did this. And some people asked if I'll do it again. Yeah, this is fun. I like the interaction. Something new, something alive, exciting. So yeah, I need a haircut. Like whoa. Not too scruffy. So, but yeah. This was fun, you guys. Thank you for everybody who was on here. I'll do one more. If there's any couple of quick questions, maybe I'll do any more new ones on here. No. Hold on, let me see. Let me share. There's probably gonna be some ones that pop up. I think there's a little bit of a lag on here, and for whatever reason, again, I'm not getting them on the computer. I have to look up on the cell phone. But there you go. That'll be it. Thank you to everybody who's done this, stayed on here with me. I appreciate that. And this was fun, and hopefully I'll do this again soon. You guys rock. Thank you again for all your support. I really do appreciate it. And for everybody who left me nice comments on my serious life update video, I really do appreciate that. That means a lot to me. It really does. And I hope everybody's doing well. Take care.